Me and the Lord, we got an understanding.
We're on a mission from God.
You know, one of these days, you and I are going to have to come in here with, like, dark glasses, and, like, a black suits with white shirt and a black tie and just do a Blues Brothers episode. Welcome to The Wrestling, live from Las Vegas, Nevada. Not Nevada, Nevada. You gotta stress that A, baby.
You want the monster voice?
Yeah, give me the monster voice.
Live from hell, this is the Rational Mail. Blood for the Blood God, skulls for the Skull Throne. Name, burn, destroy. Okay, here we go.
Why is the devil's voice always like that, and it's not like the voice of like a 10-year-old child?
Right. It's on Damien.
Okay, here we go.
I'm asking why do men prefer women with lower body counts?
And the answer is because we're not equal. And again, this is going to always be the fallacy and the flaw with feminism, because you're going to be fighting for an equality that does not exist. I'm not saying better or worse. I'm saying we are different. Now, it depends on what you want intimacy for. If you want to be out there doing it with everybody, you absolutely have your right to do that. Please be loud and proud. We want to see you coming. The men love women like that to have fun with.
Bingo. All right, here we go. This guy pretty much sums up the entire show today.
The passion that really frustrates me the most.
Yes.
Really frustrates me. I get no praise at all from my wife, so I actively seek innovative ways to make her happy, keep her happy, surprise her.
Yes.
And she's briefly surprised and then back to how she was. And at the same time, I get little jabs, little comments, little snidey little things that really just ruin my day. And now I'm at a stage where I feel I'm fearful to upset her.
Yes. And
Put her back in that
that will upset her.
Utterly.
Did you hear that? I know this is crazy. This is logic on planet female.
And I have one here just in case. So it's all legit.
Or feminine, okay? You're being worried about upsetting her. You're caring. Your love for her has become a weapon against you without you realizing it. And it's not a weapon she's trying to use against you. It just is. Your uncertainty, your fear, you're trying to protect her, you're afraid of her getting her upset, makes her a million times more upset because she comes along here and there's nothing to push on. There's nothing to push on. You're just falling back. And you go, I feel like a punching bag. You do, because you're moving all the time. A punching bag, that's a punching bag. Solid. Become stone. That's it. Stone, 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 stone. Now, after all you've been through, caring for her and all the pain, to do this feels a little inhuman a little bit. But if you do this, she'll heal. All she's doing is testing.
No, she won't.
So she's got to be able to come at you, and you got to.
You know what kills me is I've been on this Tony Robbins kick because all of his like these shorts have been coming up like in my feed like machine gun fired, and it's all red pill adjacent shit, right? And I'm just like, is Tony like leaning this way?
Slow it all down, and you got to be able to not have a fear of upsetting her. Now, I'm not telling you this because I'm so brilliant. I'm telling you because I have failed this so many times. It used to be where I lived. If something's hooking you, it's an area that needs to grow. If you're sad, you're angry, you're hooked, and it's really getting you, it's happened more than once, it's going to keep happening until you grow. It isn't your partner. It isn't something up in you. It's something needs to grow. You need a new belief. You need a new strategy. You need a new action. Problems need energy to live. If you didn't give it as much energy, if you didn't give it the meanings that you've given it, right now, you're taking it personal. And I have done this so many times, brother, but it feels like you feel sad, you feel dead inside, because you go from angry to sad. Am I right? Yeah. Real sad. Yeah. And then you get tired of feeling sad because you're masculine male, so you get angry again. But sad doesn't do it, and angry doesn't do it. You get angry, and then she gets all crying. You get sad, and then you're weak. She seems to stomp all over you more. Why would a woman do this? She must not love me. Wrong. She's doing this because this is her survival. And she's doing it with the only person it's safe to do it with, the one she knows loves her enough that would do it. Another man might slap that in the face with one of those things she said. And she knows it.
It's called Tony. It's called a passive shit test, is what it is, or passive shit test is what it is. It's is he the best I can do? That's pretty much the entire thing. And yes, should he push back? Absolutely, he should push back, but he's not going to.
The trials.
I can tell you, it's already when you like anytime like a guy has already been pre-established, like his predominant character is like beta. When he tries to go into alpha, it always looks fake. It always seems what's wrong with you? Why are you so fucking pissy, right? Or you'll get these girls who go, I broke up with my boyfriend because he took all this red pill advice from Tony fucking Robbins. Okay, yeah, whatever.
Incredibly menacing how many times that man said, I want a submissive wife on maths last night. There is a
this is the girl you'll get.
massive difference between being conservative and having family values and the dangerous shit this man was spouting. Being submissive is not a dating preference. It is a power structure. And this is not about family values. It is.
What is it with this fucking accent? For fuck's sake, you have to be British to understand all of this.
It's 100% about control, compliance, and silencing autonomy for women. Then he wanted to add in younger and baby maker. And suddenly, this is not a relationship. This is a subordinate vessel. The scariest part is that he was so fucking confident in what he was saying. Like it was totally normal.
Yes, that's what scares you. That it's totally normal. Oi, he's acting like he's a real man or something.
It shows he does not understand consent, boundaries, or equality within a relationship. That is not being conservative. That is fucking dangerous.
No, that is called intersexual dynamics because that guy is expected to die for you.
Be a side chick to an NBA player or wife to an average man?
No, it's a side chick.
The side chick?
You just know the expectations and it's more fun.
Why everyone picking the side chick though?
Because I think you could have more fun with the money, the experiences that they can offer. And so it's like if you know the expectations that are there for you, along with having the money and the experiences available to you, that's why.
Okay, here's an English accent.
What are you going to do about it? I'll suck his dick.
Okay, that was not an Australian accent. Thank you.
As a partner, why are they then watching it?
You see, I don't think they should be.
Okay. No.
Because I think it's a form of cheating.
See, I kind of feel like that too. But
Is it only people from the UK? Like, what the fuck?
Well, they're on a spiel to break it.
But because it's so normalized, I feel weird saying that. But I would feel really horrible if I knew that. Which I always know they probably are, but you just kind of excuse it.
That's an Irish accent right there, right? I'm right.
I think as a woman, you automatically just feel like, well, I don't look like
part of being a man. Yeah.
I don't look like who you're watching. I maybe can't do what she's doing. Or,
I can't do the splits.
Do you know what I mean? So I do kind of understand that you'd say it's a form of cheating.
Well, I say
no, they're better looking than you. You're fat and you don't want to fuck. That's pretty much it.
The male clients are in this fog of denial about the significance of what they're doing and the reality of what they're doing. If your girlfriend was texting men sexy videos of herself and they were sending her sexy videos of themselves, would you be happy?
That's pretty much what every girl on Instagram by order of degree is doing, brother.
Most men are like, no, not at all. But they think it's okay to watch pornography. So how's it different? Like,
I know.
It's a technical difference, but it's not that different really. You're being sexually aroused by somebody that's not your partner.
Wow.
Why?
So it's cheating. We got that's the loophole. Oh, no. You can get out of it now.
Going on with choking and sex. Women would say, I don't like this. I don't know what's going on. And so that's millennial women. And nowadays, what we see with Gen Z women is that they'll experience the same things, but they're more inclined to say that they like it. Or they will ask a male partner to.
Oh man, Deborah, so it's we do dirty things to her. Woman with the dragon tattoo.
They'll initiate it themselves.
Why are Gen Z women more likely to say they like it?
Because they grew up watching porn from a very young age, or they were exposed to porn at such a young age.
What are the actual stats right now on men versus women wanting marriage, and how far apart are they?
Okay, let's clarify something here that Deborah So was most definitely not including in her new fucking book. Women seek out violent porn by an order of magnitude greater than men do. Okay, so it's porn, sure, yeah, but it's women seeking out that stuff. It's not guys. Thank you.
So it's actually more men than women in terms of the younger generations that want marriage. Women are more likely to say that they think marriage is an outdated tradition. This is probably the first time in history that this has become the case.
Gen Z doesn't want to date, they want situationships.
They will do basically everything that you would do in a relationship, like go on vacation with the other person, have pet names and things, talk every day, text every day, spend tons of time together. And then of course one person falls in love with the other person and the other person says, well, no, I didn't want that.
There is this huge group of young women who are not even interested in marriage at all anymore. How do we convince them otherwise? How do we bring them back around?
One solution would be to get rid of DEI, to allow men to succeed, because if men are more successful, women naturally are going to find that sexier.
Oh, remember that. Oh, Patrick Bet David, pay attention here. Pay your male employees more than your female employees, and you will increase the fertility rate.
So they're going to want to pair up with these men.
What do you say to the 25-year-old man who feels demoralized and behind?
Don't let that derail.
You notice that? Did you see the distractor? Did you see the sidestep there? It's DEI. No, it's not DEI. It's pay the men more than the women. I don't care if they're brown, black, green, Hispanic, whatever the fuck they are. Pay the men more than the women, and you will increase the fertility rate. I know it's an ugly truth, but it's still, I just said it would be the truth.
You put your head down and keep working. What's your alternative? If you're going to sit there and play video games and vape all day long, that will be your life in 20, 30 years. And I think the only thing worse than being where you are now is being in the exact same place 20, 30 years from now.
Right, yeah, Deborah. So well, I got some choice words with her.
You're looking to lead your spouse, or you're looking to, have authority. You got to have a mission and a vision. I mean, if you got that, then people are excited to do that. You guys are all here right now because of the mission and the vision that I have, both men and women. We talked about this earlier. We all have the same mission. We got to go make disciples. I don't think your wife's not going to be fired up to go make disciples and love Jesus. And if she's not fired up about it yet, your example is going to help her be sanctified.
No, you have authority over your wife because the Bible says you have authority over your wife. That's the beginning and the end of that sentence, okay? It's not if you do this or if you do that. It is black and white, period, at the end of the fucking sentence, brother. I'm like, who? People ask me, like, Rollo, what religion are you, Rollo? Like, oh, I'm saying Christian. Okay, well, what franchise are you from, right? And I'm like, I don't know, but whatever it is not this. This is why this shit is why I don't go to church. This is why I can't sit there and listen to this guy, right? Imagine me in this congregation right here after an hour of worship music and going, let me up there. Let me get this guy off the stage.
So, men, we got to make sure that we are being great leaders and that we're keeping the mission the main thing.
Yeah, no, here's the main thing. God said that you are to be the leader and have headship over the entire family. You are the patriarch because you have a penis swinging between your legs. You have authority over your wife. End of story. That's what it says. Now, I didn't make the rules. I'm not necessarily endorsing that. I am not necessarily unendorsing it, whatever the fuck it is. I'm just telling you what it says. That's it. So, ladies, if you believe in the Bible, this guy, you should be kicking this dude off the fucking stage, man.
The greatest love story of all time. And it also carries this tagline, which I think is important to the theme that we're talking about, drive me mad. This idea that the greatest love story of all time has to do with insanity and jealousy and bitterness and cruelty and torture and revenge. And
has anybody ever seen 50 Shades of Grey? No? How about the Twilight series? How about
Minotaur milk?
Minotaur. No, it's a Morning Glory milking farm. Yes. What about Minotaur milking Morning Farm? What about Come For Me Bigfoot? Come on, man.
Also these very, very hyper sexual and it seems even edging on violent sexual affairs that.
Because that's what women want, Allie. I don't know if you've talked with the sisterhood yet, but that's exactly what women want.
9-foot
women
minotaurs.
seek out violent porn, and all I'm doing is quoting from the studies. Women seek out violent porn by an order of magnitude more than men do. So don't think it's men throwing this movie out there to convince women to get into violent sex. They're already into it. Oops, wait a minute.
Wonder how much this has had an effect on young women. Is this part of the reason why women tolerate staying in abusive relationships?
They want to. They're there. They like it. They get off on
They
it.
end up settling for the guy that is aggressive, or they end up trying to go for the guy that is possessive of them and all of their time and
They would rather be with that guy than the dude that Tony Robbins was pushing in the chest just a little while ago. That's just the God's honest truth. I didn't say it will be pretty. I just said it would be
out
true.
their friends. And you hear these terrible stories of these women who are abused sometimes to death. They're abused in the hospital, and there were always signs before it. Now, I'm not saying that's the only factor, these romance novels and movies, but I do think that's part of it. That while we are simultaneously saying, women, don't settle, you deserve better, this is what a healthy relationship looks like, and you should never sit around and be abused emotionally or physically by a man, we are also feeding them this stuff and saying, well, it's fine. You can
Because they want it. This is the red meat. This is what they want. They gobble it all up.
separate that from reality, but clearly most people can't. You actually can't separate many people what they're being entertained by and like their guiding philosophy in life, especially when you see the actors like Margot Robbie and Jacob kind of conflating their characters with reality. It becomes very confusing and very convincing for a lot of people.
No, it's very clear for women who enjoy violent porn. They enjoy dark triad personalities. They love this. That's why Tinder Swindler got to be Tinder, is still, by the way, Tinder Swindler.
And like, so romantic relationships in your personal life, do you have that?
I do. I'm actually in a relationship, so he's not in the industry at all.
How does he feel about what you do? Because you're, to pardon my French, but you're fucking three guys throughout the day, and you're going to come home to him, and you guys are going to go out to dinner?
Yes. It's not for everyone.
No.
It's not for everyone.
How was your day, honey?
That would be hard to be drinking at dinner, I'll tell you that.
It's actually much more common than you would think. Majority of the most successful women in my industry are married with children that no one ever sees. People would have no idea that they have partners. People would never know that they have children. And I mean, the lives are separate. You know, the person that I am online and when I go to work, I'm playing a character. It's acting, and I'm just good at acting.
Either that or you really enjoy your work.
Activity is the enemy to godly families. If you want a godly, strong family, you cannot relinquish responsibility and hope it turns out well.
And you cannot have responsibility without a commensurate amount of authority to affect that responsibility.
We cannot sit back and hope our marriage is strong, hope our children thrive. Unaddressed problems don't disappear. They fester and they grow.
Yes. If you don't have the authority to affect the solution to those fucking problems in the first place.
So the opposite of passivity is intentionality, which looks like creating standards, making rules, setting expectations, teaching godly values.
Guess what? You don't get to do any of those without the authority to effect any of those.
Teaching what consequences are there. We have to be intentional, because without intentionality, we will always gravitate towards wickedness, worldliness, disunity, and the marriage and the family will fall apart.
And you will never get to intentionality without what, children? Authority.
Hello there, children. How's it going?
Thank you. Welcome to the shit show. Kyle, what's on your playlist these days? What are you listening to these days? That was heavy, man. That was heavy. I'm going to get into some heavy stuff today. I got a lot of things to cover today. We're going to talk about Nala Ray here in just a moment. I wanted to hit on this because I think it is, again, something that can be educational. I'm not doing this because it's gossip time. It's not because she was an ex-porn. She's old news right now. I mean, hell, we've already gone through Janet Jameson converting to the Lord, and now we've got what's the little girl who just like turned 18? It's not Sophie Rain, but there's another one. I have the video of her. She made a bunch of money on OnlyFans after she turned 18, and then suddenly she felt like convicted and guilty of it, and now she's found the Lord, but I don't see her giving any of the money back. So I guess, grab the bag and then, hallelujah. Grab the bag and hallelujah. see, this is the kind of stuff that I hate having to get into these topics all the time, but like, it's such a good segue into some real red pill material. Lily Phillips, turned God.
Yeah.
And she's got like, I think that's one of the reasons why you got like Nala Ray. She's got her own podcast now. And if you look at her on, her Instagram, it's just nothing but like quick hit reel after. She's basically her TikTok right now. I doubt she could even get away with TikTok these days, but it's like, she's a sane person. She just peppers in a Jesus fish logo every now and then. So, so if you go and you check that stuff out, it's, guys, like I feel for my Christian brothers. I really do, honestly do. But for the love of the Lord, like, please, like, I'm going to tell you something. My atheist father told me one time. He said, just because you're a Christian doesn't excuse you from thinking. I've always kept that. I've always held on. My dad didn't give me much, but that was one thing I always held on to. Just because you are a Christian does not excuse you from critical thinking. And so it's one thing to have, hey, okay, well, great, she came back to the faith. What? Oh, awesome. The prodigal daughter returns, but don't let that be her fucking grift on you, for crying out loud. Anyways, what is it? Not all women are angelic. Thank you. So anyways, I got to get into some announcements really quickly here because we're already like, I'm trying to find videos that are a little more short and sweet and to the point right now, because you guys are giving me some really good videos, but they end up being like 3-minute videos. And I can't do 10 of those without it being a 30-minute long segment. So there you have it. No, I was going to say my health issues are resolving themselves. They should be. I'm almost out of the woods, guys. I just got my scan done, and I won't tell you the process because it's pretty gnarly. But my scan was done on Wednesday, and everything looks good. It's perfect, pristine. My lower intestines like a brand new baby's. Everything looks good. So we're going ahead with the reconnect surgery on the 24th. Yeah, March 24th. And I will be in the hospital between 3 and, he said 2 and 4. So I'm just going to say 3 days, which means probably 4. But anyway, so they're gonna stitch me back together. I'm gonna go back. It's only like an hour and a half surgery. That's all it is just a reconnecting me back up. And then they got to keep an eye on me for a while to make sure I can, everything, prime the pump and get everything going again, I guess. But I gotta have a good attitude about it, because otherwise I'd be like, he's sweating it. But I'm not sweating it right now. I'm actually glad that things are finally starting to resolve themselves. So should be back to 100%, and then back at Powerhouse Gym. I hate being away from the gym. I didn't realize how much I hate being away from the gym. And I know, like, it's easy for people to say that, but it's like, that's my fortress. Powerhouse Gym in Las Vegas is my fortress of solitude. So it'll be great to be getting back in there, go back and hit it hard. I have the Reignite, the big Reignite meetup in Miami, Florida will be taking place. I will be there from the 12th to the 18th. We will be going on a deep sea fishing trip. I'm already working out the logistics for that. That will be on the 14th. That's Thursday. Probably go make the rounds at Fresh and Fit, go to the Danza Project. We got some other podcasts we have, like me and Mike have lined up. So if you are interested in the Reignite meetup, I don't even know what else to call it. I'm not going to call it a mastermind because I hate funnel speak, but it's going to be a meetup. Jake Monroe has said tentatively that he's going to be there. That's great. I'm going to try to talk Aaron Clary into coming out with me too, because I need to get the old man out, the elderly shut-in out of the house. So we'll see if I can convince him to come out. And let's see what else. Access Vegas on Wednesday. We are picking it back up again. Then on the 1st, my birthday is on the 2nd. But we're going to do the show on the 1st because we're doing it on Wednesdays. We're doing things a little bit differently on Access Vegas now. We're going to start the show at 6 p.m. Pacific time. That means 9 p.m. Eastern time. We're doing that so we don't step on Fresh and Fit's time slot for Wednesday. And we just want to start it a little bit earlier and see how it works out. I mean, the girls don't care what time it is when we're there. And by the way, what is today? Today is a very special holiday. It's an unofficial holiday. International Women's Day, yeah, which also happens to be Daylight Savings Day. And I keep hearing all these people say, we should abolish daylight saving. Oh man, President Trump said he was going to abolish. Didn't Biden say he was going to abolish? Every time there's a new president, that's going to be the guy that abolishes daylight savings day. I say nope. I'm on the other side. I think we should always keep daylight savings. But Rollo, it's not pragmatic. Rollo, it's not. That was when the 1930s, when people worked on the farms and they had kids in the daylight and the going out in the dark or whatever. Don't care. I absolutely don't care. You know why? Because I love daylight savings day. Even when we have to like jump forward, like fall back. Okay, it's kind of I don't know, kind of depressing anyway. But because everything gets darker, right? Yeah. But when you jump forward, things get brighter, right? See, I'm an optimist. I'm actually trying to be positive about all of this stuff.
That's how I feel. Just let me sleep.
It is exactly. Just let me sleep. Yeah. Well, it's funny. I hit him up yesterday because I didn't want to have didn't want any margin for error. So I was hey, are you good to go for the tomorrow show? Yeah. Okay, remember to set your clocks because I knew I'd be here an hour ahead. You'd be like, oh shit. I like daylight savings day. It's always kind of been an unofficial holiday, at least as far as I'm concerned. I mean, I grew up in Southern California, so what can you do? But I think we should keep it just for the hell of it. Why not? And it's kind of like, oh man, now we're gonna leave today from this year, and it's gonna be daylight, and we'll be able to drive home in the daylight. Wow. How awesome!
That's gonna be new for me now.
Yes, it will. Well, and then we have to readjust all the.
I vote for later sunsets. Yeah,
later sunsets. Yeah. Well. Anyways, I like daylight savings. Anyways, so we got Access Vegas coming up. By the way, if you are interested in, I think it's Mystery. Mystery is coming out on, I want to say he's from this 4th through the 9th.
Okay.
He'll be in Vegas for his meetup or for his boot camp or whatever he's doing. You have to check out his thing. I just saw the notice for it and I figured I'd give him a shout out because I'm probably going to do a show with him if things work out well for us. So we might have Mystery in studio one more time. On Tuesday, I will be doing the Reignite stream with my heterosexual life partner, Joe Marron, and we will be. I think we got a fitness guy who's coming in for that one. Also, if you are interested in being included in our Reignite community, our Zoom calls, you can do that without having a subscription now. You don't have to be a quote unquote member. You can simply go to my Patreon, sign up for the $200 level. So for $200 a month, okay, hear me out. For $200 a month, you get 4 Zoom calls, not 1 2-hour call. You get 4 90-minute calls ish. Sometimes they go longer. It just depends. And that we have a much larger community now that I've opened it up to my Patreon group. So if you're like, I don't know about this Reignite stuff, I don't have the kind of money, but okay, fine. But you have questions, we have answers. We have a network of guys. I have special guests come in and talk. I've had James Sexton on there to talk about divorce for the guys who are going through divorce, right? How awesome would that fucking be for you? If you're going through a bad divorce, or maybe you're like, you think you are and you need to prepare for it, like you don't know what to do, I can arrange that. That can be arranged. I've had Aaron Clary on there. I've had who else? I'm trying to get Drew Bay for a fitness guy who's like, Drew Bay is if you don't know who Drew Bay is, he's actually part of the Masculine Geek crew that I play Dungeons and Dragons with. He's a fitness, he's a master's level bodybuilder and competes in bodybuilding contests. And I think he's 52 or 54, something like that. So he'll be on. I might have Mystery. It just depends. So you never know. Mike Sartain sometimes shows up. Just depends on what your needs happen to be. And if you say, hey, I would really love, hey, you know that guy, what's your face that you had on? I'm like, okay, I'll try to get him for a Zoom call. And remember, James Sexton's a hard get to get on your show. So the fact that he's tight with me and Mike is fucking great. So,
busy man.
So long story short, if you want to be a part of our calls, our weekly calls, the weekly calls happen at 4 p.m. Pacific time, which is 7 p.m. Eastern time, every Thursday, every single Thursday. So if you want to join the Zoom calls, you got to be a part. If that's all you want to do, just join my Patreon, and the Patreon link is in the description. You have to click on more, but the Patreon link is down below, and just sign up at the $200 level, and you get 4 90 minutes ish. Sometimes I go for 2 hours talks, and it's great. People keep coming back, and the reason why I'm opening this up is because everybody thinks that that's like the best part of Reignite is like having this community and guys where we talk about stuff, right? And then of course you have access to me as well. So if that's something that you're interested in, you don't have to be 50 years old. You don't have to. You can be 35. You can be 25. I don't care how old you are, how young you are, whatever it is. If you want to be a part of that, please just join the Patreon group, and we'll get you in on the Zoom calls. And I think it's well worth the money, right? I mean, even so what is it, $50 per? If you did all four, it's $50 per session. It's freaking great, man. Who else is giving you that? I'd like to know, like, who else gives you like special guests and shit like that? I don't know what other people are charging for their groups, but man, I think we got the best. Honestly, I think we got the best thing going. So, anyways, check it out. But if you are interested and you want to see what we're about, you can also check out our show, the Reignite Show, which will be on Tuesday. And I want to say it's going to be about 6 p.m. Pacific time. So it'll be 9 p.m. Eastern time. And it's something that me and Joe do, every now and then, probably like every other week now. I'm trying to make it on the off weeks with Access Vegas. Access Vegas, again, will be at 6 p.m. Pacific, 9 p.m. Eastern on Wednesday. So I'm going to, I'm thinking about just having it on the Access Vegas channel. Okay. Because doesn't that make more sense? Like, because we've been diluting the audience. People they'll see my channel and they'll go, oh man, there's only 100 and 200 people watching. No, there's actually probably about like 2,000 people watching, because we split the audience between Mike's channel. We simulcast to his channel, to my channel, to the Access Vegas channel, and to the Rumble channel. And it's going to Twitter as well. So we have a lot more audience than you think we do. It's just that, like, individually, it seems like you're just taking a little chunk of the audience. I think we need to aggregate everything together and put it all together in one spot. So we'll probably end up doing that. Let's see. What's this? Do you think female? See, this is the kind of question I would respond to on the Zoom call. Do you think female respect for men is a utilitarian mask rather than genuine emotion and modern independence? Hasn't created new contempt for men, but simply allowed old contempt to be expressed. Yeah, I would say so. But so this is a more complex question than contempt. Like, oh, do women hate men? Mm-hmm. Like, is that why they have a disrespect for men? No. The reason why they have a disrespect for men is because men's concept of respect is different from women's concept of respect. If you go to the dictionary, whatever, Webster's, type in respect and give me the definition of respect, and we're gonna look at the first two returns for that. Respect. There are two definitions for respect. I think I've done this before, but respect. There you go. Okay. All right. I just got that first one is fine. Okay. Yeah, put it on the screen. That's fine. Okay. Here we go. Everybody needs a little respect, right? Of course, now I can't fucking read this. A feeling of understanding of someone as something is important, etc. Blah, blah, blah. Higher special regard. Got that. Actually, wait, I need to go to the other one. Equality, state of being. What's the other ones? Particular way of thinking. Hey, go back to the AI version. Yeah, there you go. That one. Okay. Just leave it right there. Now, a feeling of admiring somebody or something that is good, valuable, important, polite behavior towards the other. Okay. One of those is the masculine definition. That is, what do you do that makes you respectable? What have you accomplished? What are you doing? It's a performance-based form of respect. It's a merit-based form of respect. The second version of that is the common female way of thinking about respect. Okay. So when women apply respect when they talk about respect just in general, respect is just everybody deserves respect, right? It's a participation trophy mentality. You get some respect and you get some respect and everybody gets some respect, and we shouldn't disrespect each other. Like, everybody get along. That's basically, everybody get along. That's basically what respect means to women, until it's a guy, right? And remember the pastor I just showed you a minute ago who was talking about, well, men, you need to lead and you need to do these things. And I'm not saying that performance isn't something you ought to do. It is. It's just that the Bible doesn't say that. The Bible just says, by decree of the Lord, if you are born male, you automatically have a dominion over your wife, period. If ladies, if you don't want that, don't marry him. Got it? It's very simple. But the thing is that when we're talking about the male form of respect, women look up. Can that woman look up to him? Does she admire him? Does he have some accomplishments to him? Is his character respectable? Is his job respectable? Is his body respectable? Is his what is everything about it? Like there has to be he has to perform to get to that respectability. And that's what most guys really like when I'm looking at Kyle and he's looking at me, he knows what I've done. I know what Kyle has done. So I have definitely a professional respect for Kyle, right? Because I know all this stuff. And so it's not like I'm going to especially when it comes to like what we were talking about before, when it comes to technical issues and shit like that. I'm like, yeah, I can certainly respect that, right? I respect Mike for his experience as well. But it's not the same as women saying, a female teacher in the classroom going, everybody respect each other, right? That's not respect. So so when you're going to talk about the female respect for men as a utilitarian mask, no, I don't think so, because most women are like, you ain't shit, right? You ain't shit unless you do some things. Like, I need you to make X amount of dollars. I need you to look good. I need you to have all these. I mean, you think about all the qualities, the respectable qualities that a man has to have before a woman will be attracted to him, or before a woman will have any kind of like sort of default respect for him. That's why I always laugh when I listen to these, in particular, tradfluencers. When I listen to the tradfluencers, and the women say, "Well, the source of most marital, disunion is a lack of respect. A woman's lack of respect for a man." It's like, no, it's not, because your form of you don't know what respect is. Your form of respect is different than his form of respect. You expect him to have you expect your man to respect you just by default. Isn't that great? Now, I remember story time. I remember when I was like, it was like 19 or 20 years old. It was the first time in my life I had somebody tell me that. Some girls told me this before. She goes, "You know what your problem is?" I'm like, "What?" She goes, "You don't respect women." I'm like, well, all I do, I'm like, what are you talking about? Like, of course I respect women. The thing is like the definition was what was wrong. And because my male, caveman brain goes to, well, what do women do that deserves my respect? I respect people who deserve my respect. It's not that I think you're a dick or something if you're just, you're here and I think your respect level needs to be up here. But see, that's the thing, is when a woman tells you don't respect women, that tells a man that you don't respect women, it's usually the default. It's like, it's make it rain respect, right? Because she has a vagina, because she has boobs, because she was born female, you're supposed to have a default respect for her. No, you don't. That's why people lose their minds. I don't know if you guys have followed me on Twitter, but like every now and then I think it's relevant. I'll post this very simple 1-sentence tweet. I said, "Gentlemen, you do not owe women a better life." Man, people lose their fucking minds every time I post that on there. Yes, you do. No, you don't. Oh, yeah. I bet he's, I bet he's an incel. I bet he's, he's jerking off at home in his mom's basement. But everybody jumps to a conclusion. If you say something that people really aggravates them, especially if it's a factual thing, and they will tell you how they feel about it because you didn't tell them how to feel about it. But you don't, especially today, men, you don't owe women a better life. And so saying that, especially if you have a preset belief that women deserve respect by default, I mean, how fucking awesome would that be? As if I could have like male respect automatically just because I have a dick. How awesome would that fucking be? Well, hey, respect men.
You have to
respect that guy. Respect the cock. Respect the dick, man. Yeah, that. Nobody says that, but you know what they say? You don't respect women. And oh my God, and you don't want to feel like a jerk. You don't want to feel like, oh my gosh, I don't want people to think I don't respect women. Oh, that's horrible. Like that's the whole thing. Like that's one of the things that they're teaching these kids in the UK right now is Well, we need to teach them a default respect. And I got a definition of misogyny from these guys, right? We're going to cover that today too. The very fact that I say on this show and in written form and other places, if I say, gentlemen, you don't owe women a better life, I'm a misogynist, flat out. That's it. I'm just pointing facts out. I'm not saying you shouldn't respect women. I'm saying you don't owe them a better life. Now, when you get into a relationship with them, why is there debt? Why are we looking at this from a debt perspective? So the long and the short of it is that it's not so much about women's contempt, which might play a factor in there. It's because women just simply don't share the same concept or the same definition of respect that men do, or they use their form of respect, like the common form of respect, when it suits women. You should always respect women. Default. Doesn't matter. Why? She has a cooter. That's all. Respect the cooter, right? Hail to the V. But we don't respect men by default. We respect men for what they do. So you have this paradox right there. And sometimes that comes off as contempt. So if that guy hasn't, you ain't shit. You ain't shit means you ain't done shit. It means you're not like this. I'll get into this later, but I've already talked about this on a Substack article I did. And I'm trying to point out the fact that men are sort of evolutionarily, biologically programmed. It's in our firmware, right? It's down to our hard code. It's written into the machinery, right? To protect women, to put ourselves in front of live ammunition, like to protect women we don't even know in a live shooter or situation. Like if you go and you look at like some of the stories that were, or you look at what happened during the 2017 Las Vegas shooting, like guys would put themselves physically. They would say, "Hey, shoot me, not her." Like literally, they were doing this, right? Because they didn't want to women that they didn't even know. Same thing happened in Aurora, Colorado, at the James Holmes shooting, the theater when Batman was playing or something. Like guys would just throw themselves bodily in front of women they didn't even know just to take a bullet for them. It's instinctual. If you have to think about it, you might go, "Well, everybody, fuck you. If you want equal rights, there you go." Yeah. But when you're not thinking about it, when it's right there in the moment, it's immediate. You'll be surprised what you do. You'll be surprised what you do instinctively. You know what woke me up to that? What was COVID. Everybody, like, you think people can't be crazy? You think mass hysteria is just like something you see in like a zombie movie? No, there's a reason why that mythology exists, because that's a human instinct, right? Men will put themselves, will protect women. Men are the disposable. We're the sacrificial sex, and women are the vulnerable sex. Sperm is plentiful, and sperm is cheap. Eggs are expensive, right? That's what it was. I mean, from a mathematical perspective, right? So if I am expected to give my life, like if I'm expected to give my life for someone, right? It's never going to be 50-50. In fact, I got a really great video that's a nice segue really quick. Thank you for that question. It was really good because it lets me do this.
Marriage should be 50-50. It's the biggest crock of I've ever heard. It's never 50-50.
Yeah.
Ever. And so what we do is we quantify where we are. So if Steve comes home and he'll be like, "I got 20.
Just in terms of energy.
Just energy, investment, kindness, patience. I had 20. And I'll be like, "I'll cover you. I got you, brother. Like, I'll pull the 80. Sometimes we come home, which we have done a lot. My mom has been sick, and 2 days ago said, "I'm riding a solid 25. So we know that we have to sit down at the table anytime we have less
Okay, just say it. Hoop earrings, thank you.
than 100 combined and figure out a plan of kindness toward each other.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah, because the thing is, marriage is not something that's 50-50. A partnership works when you can carry their 20 or they can carry your 20. And that when you both just have 20, you have a plan where you don't hurt each other.
Right. It's still transactional. Actually, it is 50-50. Oh, put me back. There we go. Why does it keep doing that when we switch over? I don't know. Something in StreamYard is doing that now. Okay. Hypothetical situation here. Okay. If this is my wife, and this is most definitely not my wife, and you have a home invasion and a couple of armed thugs come in your house and they are, about to rip you off or vandalize your house, or they come in to kill you. Right.
Okay.
And I tell my wife, you know what? I'm feeling kind of 20 right now. You're 80 here. Here's the Glock. Go downstairs. Oh, no, don't worry. I got your back. I'll carry your 80. Do you think that that's going to happen? No, it's not. Okay. Because men have an evolved protector dynamic. And there is no such thing as an equal exchange of value in that situation. And the other thing is like, it still might as well be 50-50, or you're still using sort of this numerical transactional nature to your relationship, right? I know what's expected of me in my relationship. I float my, you know what my relationship is? It's 100% me and 0% my wife right now. That's what it is. I mean, if you're going to talk about finances, it most definitely is, because I'm the sole breadwinner in our family, period. Right? I earn enough that I can support her mother-in-law, or my mother-in-law, her mom. I have 2 greyhounds. I have other people who I have to pay on a daily basis or a monthly basis, who I'm glad to do so. And I still take care of my daughter financially in certain ways as well, but I'm the only one doing that. So that is 100-0 on the part of everybody else. Do I have a problem with that? No, not usually. So there will never be an equal exchange of value. And that's really what that kind of boils down to. So if you want to talk about respect, what are you doing that makes you respectable? Like, where's the give and take? I don't look at my relationship with my wife or my family or my immediate family, anyways, my extended family, I guess. I don't look at it in a transactional nature. And you better fucking thank. And you know what? If you're in a situation, your wife better fucking thank her lucky goddamn whatever God she prays to. Better pray every day. Say, thank you, Lord, for this man who fucking takes care of me and takes care of everything for me. Is that happening? I don't think so. All right. Okay. What's this last one? Is explaining things too much, looking for external validation. Does that form part of frame? Reignite is teaching me how to, the book available on Amazon, is teaching me how to socialize in a healthy way. Good for you. Thank God, man. Thank you. You know what? Hell. That's what I want to happen. I want you to learn social skills. Well, certainly through Reignite, the program, my men's program, but also the book itself. It will actually help you. It gives you exercises on how to learn social skills. Why is this like brain surgery? Explaining things too much, looking for external validation. Sometimes. I think it kind of depends on the guy, because if I I don't know you from Adam, but for instance, I think there's a lot of dudes who their personality is just to be what I would otherwise call a gamma male, right? That's gamma male behavior, I guess, but gamma male way of thinking. Like, you have to describe every fucking thing. Like, for instance, this is one of the things that bugs me the most, right? Mm-hmm. When you watch Star Wars, right? When you watch the movie Star Wars, right? I remember just watching the first 3 movies, New Hope, Empire Strikes Back, which is the best of the series, and then Return of the Jedi, right? All that stuff. Okay, so from those 3 movies, how many spin-offs have been done as a result of those things? And in those movies, how many of those movies had to explain things from the first 3, right? And this is the Han Solo moment. Did you ever see Han Solo, the movie?
Yep.
I thought it was pretty good. I liked Han Solo. Yeah. It was, as a standalone movie, I thought it was great. Completely unnecessary for the main plot, but it was kind of cool to see it. But the thing is his name is Han Solo. You don't have to explain to me why his name is Han Solo, for fuck's sake. Like, he's going through the TSA, the Star Wars TSA. And he's like, my name is Han. Okay. Are you with anybody? No, I'm just solo by myself. Oh, that's how he got Han Solo. That's what I'm talking about. Like, that's this autistic need to over-explain stuff, to tell you why a lightsaber has a kyber crystal in it. And I know this because I'm a dork too. But little minutia stuff like that. I have so many times. Yes, he was solo. Thank you very much. If you're into Warhammer 40,000 and your wife isn't, never explain the lore to her. Never. I'm just, I don't do too many prescriptions on this show. That's my prescription. Never try to explain the lore. You're excited for it, and she's just going to go, Or we just watched Wonder Man. on Disney, which I didn't think was all that bad. They, Ray swapped him. Of course, Wonder Man was white in the comic books. Okay, whatever. The guy who was the actor did a pretty decent job, and the guy who was Barnaby did a pretty good job too. I thought it was actually a pretty interesting series, and it was short and sweet, and I liked the way it was shot. It was shot almost like a like Jackie Brown or something like that. It was interesting. But the thing is like because I know everything about comic books, right? Or I think I do, anyways. I'm sure there's some guy in the chat right now. He doesn't know that. Let me tell you about the golden age of Marvel, or the silver age, or the copper age, or bronze age, which is probably all I know is the Bronze Age. But like I'm trying to explain to my wife how his powers manifest, right? Because they're really unclear about that in the series, right up until like the very last, I think, last episode of the series, right? And so it's ionic energy, right? Which of course is radiation. Everything was radiation. Yeah. Back in the 60s, they were really afraid of radiation. Like, you got bit by a radioactive spider, what happens? Yeah. You turn into Spider-Man, right? The X-Men were all irradiated. There was something about radiation, children of the atom, right? So it's the same thing, same concept anyways. But so I'm trying to explain to her, okay, he has, he's got super strength. He's got this power, his force. He can actually fly. He didn't fly. Spoiler alert. He doesn't fly until the very last episode, but I always knew he could because the character could. And they stuck pretty close to the comic book like costumes, right? Yeah. They made him wear the red coat with like no lapel. It was like it's badass actually. And he's got the black turtleneck, which is classic Wonder Man. And he's also, at least as far as I know, Wonder Man is the leader of the West Coast Avengers, right? So it leads me to believe that they might be doing a West Coast Avengers pretty soon. So, which is, I think, a pretty cool idea, right? I'm trying to explain this to my wife. And this is this more to your question. This is over explaining. And at the end of every conversation I have with my wife, when it comes to Marvel stuff, she defers to my authority when it comes to Marvel characters, because I grew up on comic books. She won't, but I can't explain too long. I can say, okay, it's ionic energy, blah, 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 right? He can do this, he can do this, he can fly, he can, he's bulletproof too. Of course, the character itself was, they just wanted to name him Wonder Man because DC Comics had already trademarked Wonder Woman. That was really the only reason. But he turned out to be a pretty badass character. He was actually an actor. And the sunglasses, also iconic, right? I know this, she doesn't. Don't explain those things. Why is he wearing those glasses? It's just part of the character. Trust me, just go with it. Yeah, don't overanalyze. All right, so here's where I'm going to go next, guys. We've got a couple of things I want to get into. Let's go with Nala first. We'll go with Nala, and then we'll segue into
misogyny.
Yes, so we'll segue into misogyny next. I want to go with Nala Ray. Nala, your friend and mine. Nala Ray, Nala Fit. Why did I put her redhead smiling mug on the thumbnail here? Well, it's because of this. Shall we build it up? Let's do the build up here. I don't want to give the whole thing away. Not that one. Oh, okay. So if you don't know who Nala Ray is, and why don't you? She was this notorious, like, ratchet OnlyFans chick. And I will respect the game with Nala Ray, Nala Fit. Like, game recognizes game. I recognize her game. Grift recognizes grift. Okay. This is like God tier grift is what this is. Okay. I'm going to convert to Christianity. She was the first to do it, right? Yeah. I mean, look who followed in her footsteps after that, right? Lily Phillips is supposedly converted to the light side. Jenna Jameson, I don't know who else has decided that they wanted to go the straight and narrow route now. But she was the trailblazer. She got there before anybody else did, and she kind of set the theme for all of this. And of course, Michael Knowles, sucker, also known as Caesar Flickerman, interviewed her here. So I'm going to give you this one first. This is the build-up.
Pro, like, nudity.
like, because I love the human body. I think we're beautiful, truly. I have a different form of that love now for it's more, I love what God created instead of just nudity, you know? So, and that was.
What do you see as the distinction?
Perversion. That's pretty much
Here's the distinction. I'm not getting a dick in my in me.
The distinction I feel now is like promiscuity versus, you know, like acceptance of something beautiful and seeing it for what God created it to be and how God wants it to be used instead of being perverted in it. Right.
In almost a kind of idolatry. Like you think, you know, we could all name aspects of the human body that we are.
Yes, prone to.
But if you know, so if you consider that, say in the context of marriage, as it ought to be, and you say, okay, I really, you know, this part's kind of nice and this, but if you consider that as part of the integrated whole of the person that is then also a composite of body and soul, then that's all great. You know, it's like a song of songs, and it's really good. We're not trying to suppress that desire.
No.
But if you make an idol, you know, you have a thing for this body part or that body part, then it really becomes, in the true sense of the word, a fetish.
It does.
Like a fetish.
I love this. Like, married sex is now a fetish. It's so rare, and it's so like married sex is taboo. Man, I have what's your kink, Rollo? It's having sex with my wife. It's fucking awesome, man. We're gonna create some. I really get off on married people porn.
Is a term that refers to pagan idolatry.
Yes.
Right, like you could have a fetish for some weird, like, you know, idol statue kind of thing.
Of course, just like you can have a foot fetish.
Right.
Absolutely.
Right about that. He's like, that's where he kind of like,
or any, you know, really any physical aspect.
Absolutely.
Which seems to be so prominent today.
Yeah, like your perfect heart-shaped ass.
Yes. We live in a very evil and adulterous generation. So perversion is a very big part of that, I think.
All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, do you think that Michael Knowles has seen Nala Ray's porn? Put a 1 in the chat if you think that Michael Knowles has rubbed one out to Nala Ray. I put 1 in the chat. Everybody wants some. Come on. If I don't see a bunch of ones in here, I'm gonna be, son, I am disappointed. There it is. Yes. See? Yes. Okay. So that's the buildup there. And the reason why I'm doing that buildup is because it sort of segues nicely into this other video that I have right here. This is where it all got started. This happened, this was right when she first started doing just clips after she's quote unquote got saved. She was going to TP USA. She was a guest speaker for the Women's Ministry Day. I think it was in 2024. I don't know if she was in 2025. It might have been. Anyways, so let's check this out. Here we go.
Question is, did your husbands watch your old content?
No. Did yours?
No.
God, no.
I
wouldn't have married someone that watched my stuff.
I would
wouldn't
never
have done it.
marry somebody who would have known about that kind of stuff.
Yeah, it would have
Absolutely
made
not.
me feel very
I wouldn't have married a guy who had already seen my porn. Really?
uncomfortable. Like, okay, we're getting married, and when we're intimate, then I would have felt like
you'd been simping over me the whole time.
Yeah.
That you've been simping over me the whole time. Holy mackerel. Or how about this? Oh, he's going to have some expectations here. Boy, I would have, anybody who has read me for more than 5 or 10 years, you know exactly where I'm going with this.
Yeah, like my biggest fan is. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
not.
I couldn't have done it.
No.
I couldn't have done it.
Okay, that's her and her other friend who's now a Christian girl. These are Girls Gone Bible or whatever. Then not the actual podcast, but and now Nala has her own podcast again. But still with God, look at those fucking eyelashes. Holy shit. Anyway, I'm not complaining. That is not a complaint. Okay. But not what I would expect from someone who was a former porn star who was now not a former porn star, now married and has decided to go the straight and narrow, right? Well, it turns out that that's all bullshit. Yeah. Let me remove that. And here's why. This is the latest video right here. Again, I have a point. I'm going somewhere with this. This is not just gossip. This is not gossip. Here you go. I believe this is the one. Yeah. Okay. Here we go. This is the most recent one.
This was a kind of a harder, more personal question. How did you and Jordan go about navigating intimacy preferences given my history?
Okay, well,
right there, right there. Wait, stop, right there. That's where his soul left his body, right there. You can see his soul just. That's when he lost it. Okay, so this is her husband, Jordan.
Definitely, I would say it was definitely hard. You know,
Yeah,
it was definitely
I'm sure
hard.
it was.
There were moments where like images I've seen would like come back, and like when times we were like intimate, like it would like flood my brain, and I like literally couldn't focus. Like,
Okay, continue.
I could not shut my mind off. I could not shut off like the things that I've seen.
Yeah.
But like once like God got me through that, it was a lot easier. Not that I don't like sometimes randomly, to be honest, like think about that stuff anymore.
Randomly, I was at Taco Bell the other day. You know what popped into my brain? You having that three-way with that other hot chick and the guy that she had one partner that she always fucked all the time.
And it's not necessarily just a comparison, but it's like if you think about your significant other and you see that.
No, it's a comparison.
You know what I mean? It's just like, dang, like it just it's a punch in the gut, I guess you could say.
No.
I guess you could say. Okay. Oh, widen me out there, brother. Punch in the gut. So this is what you have to look forward to, Christian man. Like the reason why I titled today, Our Christian Husbands, basically incels. If you've read my I think it was my most recent Substack, I sort of pondered this a little bit because from what I see, and this is me, if I'm wrong, please let me know. But from what I see from TradCon Tradfluencers, right? The videos that I show in the beginning here, even Charlie Kirk, right? Even when Charlie Kirk was there, it was like, you do everything for your wife, do everything, and look at Erica, right? Now it seems to me like the perfect ideal guy for a woman, for a quote unquote Christian woman, is an incel, a guy who doesn't watch porn. Doesn't jerk. Well, I mean, incels probably do, but like, the ideal is doesn't touch himself. He's involuntarily celibate, right? Or maybe he's voluntarily celibate, but he's definitely some ascetic monk celibate guy who has never seen her porn, who has never seen her Instagram, who has never seen her anywhere else, right? Has only seen her on the Amish, courtyard or wherever the fuck they live, right? That's the only place, right? So it's the ideal guy is the guy who's asexual, who has no sexuality whatsoever, except for the fact that he's also very committed to his job. He's very committed to his religion. He's very committed to his own success. He's very they want a guy that they can respect, right? So remember we talked about hierarchical respect. They want a guy who can do that. They want a badass, right? But they also want a guy who has like no dick or is afraid of his dick. So afraid that he won't do this. It's going to get me in trouble. I'm just going to put it away forever. And what's the first thing we talk about? Like when we talk about like abortion or whatever, and I say, well, the function of abortion is it's a fail-safe for women against bad reproductive choices. It's a reproductive fail-safe for bad reproductive choices for women. And what do women go? Well, men should just keep their dicks in their pants. That part right there, you should have just kept his dick in his pants. Those guys take that fucking serious. I'm just going to keep my dick in my pants, and that's how it's going to work out. I'm not going to have any sexual thoughts, and I don't care that the average age of first marriage is 32 in the United States. Like you're expecting to be celibate for 30 years. And, what's the average lifespan of a I'm starting to get one. Sorry, I got to put this in. Oh, it's right here. This is what it is. Okay, it's on there. What's the average lifespan of a guy, of a male? And average male lifespan in the United States. What does it come down?
76.
76 years. So, what was that, about 30 your life? A little more or a little under. It's almost half your life, really. You're supposed to be. Don't touch it. Don't look at porn. Don't have a sexual thought. Right? He feels, like he even says, I feel bad about it, but just have these random thoughts of seeing you with your ass in the air. And by the way, she was into everything too. Yeah. If you've ever seen, like, I remember when like she first converted and everybody was throwing out all these leaked OnlyFans videos of her and everything. She usually only worked with one guy, I think, but she had like female partners as well. Like they would do 3-ways and shit like that. And it was basically, I don't think she ever shot commercial porn, but I know she did like OnlyFans, like really exclusive OnlyFans stuff. And if you've seen her on whatever podcast, Brian from whatever podcast, you need to pay him residuals, Nala, because like the favor he did to you put you on the fucking map, man. Nobody would know who she was. But the thing is that she is, you're coming at this from the perspective of this guy. Now, I don't care about Nala in them. The whole reason I'm showing you this or we're getting into this is not because of Nala, because people go, oh yeah, man, see, that's what happens when you marry a bitch with a high body count. Okay, thanks, move along. I want to look at his situation, with Jordan's situation, pointed at that way. Like, this guy knew what he was getting into. And yes, I'm also aware, because somebody's going to mention bird hands. I'm going to I'm going to mention also that, yes, I know that he also struggled with pornography as well, right? Is he still struggling, or is now that he's banging Nala Ray in the holy matrimony, is he no longer struggling with pornography? I don't know. I don't think so. Maybe he is. Like, does she like, here, my other thing is now we're going to go here. I asked you before, do you think that Michael Knowles rubbed one out to Nala Ray? Now I'm going to tell you this. Do you think her husband has rubbed one out in the past, or now currently while he's married? Do you think he has rubbed one out to her videos? I'm going to say probably yes, because that's just the male sexual nature. I want to see what this, because, well, clearly he has. I don't know if he necessarily rubbed one out, but he's seen it. He has seen her pornography. He says, I've seen it. I got it stuck in my head, and now I'm married to you. That's some fucking rough shit. Because this is why when I get into the topic of body count, people leave body count on the table. Like, they just like, well, women need to be held accountable for their body count. Don't you know that you won't be able to have a stable marriage if you have more than 6 bodies, whatever it is? People love that, like, especially like the male side of the thing, right? The Fresh and Fit side, the whatever podcast, the man on the street with the microphone kind of thing. But they don't understand is the guy. They don't understand the Jordan in all of this, right? He's the one that has to deal with this shit. He's the one that has it stuck in his head, right? And he has to know, and I'm sure she does too, like, she's not knocking it out with the same intensity and the same enthusiasm and the same gymnastics that she was with this guy. I have this one post. I'm going to bring it up here really quickly. This is on The Rational Male, and it is called Saving the Best. Now, Saving the Best is kind of a very special essay article for me, because it was, to this day, it's my most trafficked blog post on The Rational Male, like, ever in the history of The Rational Male. And it's called Saving the Best. I should have had it called up. There we go. Saving the Best. And I will tell you why I called it Saving the Best here in just a second. Oh, here we go. Saving the Best. I wrote this on December 3rd, 2013. That's how old this post is, okay? This is from Saving the Best. Let me. I guess I could probably put this up on the screen. Well, anyways, I'll just throw this out there. Here, I'll just read it to you, because I'm just going to end up reading the actual thing for you. Okay, so what I got was, this was in a response to I think it was a reader or a Reddit post. Yeah, it was a Reddit post, a Reddit thread that I had received a link back to. Okay, that's a call. Sorry. Yeah. Okay. Yep. Can you put that in the chat for me, Sammy, if you haven't already, so people can refer to it from this? So this is what the guy said. Okay. He says, I posted this earlier on another subreddit, but it ended up getting removed because of fighting in the comments. I'll sum up what happened thus far. I met my wife 7 years ago. She was extremely picky when it came to sex. She told me she only has been with one other guy before. She would never give a blowjob, only would do certain positions, and found almost every act degrading. I was frustrated by this, but I really liked her and hoped over the years she would open up sexually. Over the years, it never got any better, but I learned to get over it as well. I ended up finding an old video from her college days of her engaging in group sex with 6 other people, 5 of them guys, and 5 guys and 1 girl. In the video, she has anal sex, oral sex, gets double teamed, yells multiple times in the video. She is and I quote, "I am a filthy whore."
Well, I'm a whore.
There you go. All of it she was enthusiastic about. I ended up feeling really sad. I can understand a certain type of stuff people don't want to do, but it wasn't the fact that she didn't want to do them. She didn't want to do them with me. But every other guy she was with, she was their whore. I was angry, hurt, and ended up saying some stupid shit to my wife. I asked her if she could drop our daughter off at her sister's house because I wanted to talk to her. She asked why, and I said, well, I told her we would discuss it after she got there. I don't remember the details of the conversation, so I'll try my best to sum it up. I was drinking a little bit before when she came, which wasn't the best idea. Okay, so here it is. Me. Is there anything about your past that you've been hiding from me? Her. Why are we talking about this? I just want to know because were you in any type of porn or anything like that? Are you taking drugs? I found your video from college with the other guys. I don't know who you are anymore. I feel ill around you. And then she started crying. Then he says, do you have anything to say? She continues to cry. This was pointless. I go and I grab my keys to leave and she tries to stop me. And I said, if you don't want me, then leave me. If you don't want me to leave, then I need you to be 100% honest with me and tell me why you lied to me for all these years. Then she says, I didn't want you to think that I was a slut. Okay. I would have been perfectly fine if you told me I would have loved to have done those wild things with you. Look, I get it. I don't turn you on like those other guys. Do you like sucking their dicks, but you don't like sucking mine, right? Then she says, it's not that. I didn't want you to think less of me. I would think more of you, actually. Bravo, a quality wife. No, it's exactly that. There's a thing lying about sleeping with me, other guy. No, it's exactly that. There is a thing lying about sleeping with other guys. It's not that you didn't like doing those things. You didn't like doing them with me, or you don't like doing them with me. She says, I can do that stuff with you. I'm attracted to you. You know that. I don't want you to do it because you feel like you have to do it. I want someone that actually desires me. This is why this was my most trafficked. That sentence right there is why this was one of, if not the most trafficked blog post I have ever had. Okay. That's the desire side. She says, I can change. I promise. I promise. Don't ruin our marriage over this. We can work things out. We can go to marriage counseling. Seriously. Yeah. No. Seriously, talk to me. Marriage counseling won't change how you feel about me. Look, I will try marriage counseling, but I want a trial separation for now. Please don't do this. Don't throw away our marriage for what I did in college. Stop fucking acting like it's a one-time thing. Be honest with me. How many guys did you fuck before me? How many guys' dicks have you sucked? And how many guys have you let fuck you in the ass? Why does it matter? I said, I'll just do them for you. I'll just do them for you. This is the click. This is the punchline. I'm so fucking lucky. I got married to a whore that fucks like a prude. And then she says, please don't waste our marriage for this. I'm willing to change, blah, blah, blah. Okay. So, and it keeps going on, but essentially I could read the rest of it to you, but you can read if you want, the link is right there. And I think Sammy put it in, didn't he? Yeah. That's the whole point. I married a slut who fucks like a prude. That's what I want to know. Because that right there is why I think this right here, this whole situation is why guys need to know what body count is. And this is why women hate that question. because they leave a digital footprint. This girl right here, remember, I posted this in 2013. There was no OnlyFans. There was no, Instagram wasn't what it is right now. Twitter wasn't what it is right now. So it would have had to have been some kind of like either a VHS tape, right? A VHS tape, or some kind of physical recording. And here's the other part. Why is she hanging on to it? Why is it still on her hard drive or wherever it is, or in her closet or on the videotape? Why? Why is that still there? If it's a tape, if it's a physical thing, why not destroy it? I'm with my man right now. I'm going to throw it in the fire. I'm done. That's part of it. If she was sincere and said, "I love you," and I didn't want you to think of me as a slut. Why are you keeping it? Why is it there? So you can go back to it at some point? Where are you going? Who are you going to show it to your sister when you're drunk? Why? Why do you still have this? I have counseled guys. The reason I brought this up and Jordan's situation is kind of reminding me all of this. I've had guys in my Reignite group who've related similar stories, right? They have found not VHS tapes, but like photography, like photos. Because remember, these guys are a little bit older, so it's like analog stuff. I found folders of my wife that she was hanging on to these pictures of her. And she had shot effectively amateur porn with a former boyfriend or two former boyfriends or something like that. Now, so it wasn't group sex or anything like that, but it's like her fucking her other body. Like she was basically, the guy was, I guess you have to set it on a timer or something. You have like a clicker or something. I don't know how you would do that back in the past, right? But apparently there was the photography, right? And she was hanging on to the pictures. And the guy was like, should I, I don't know. She does what she won't do. She was doing all these things in the pictures that she doesn't do with me. I don't understand why she's like that. And I'm like, well, because of the very same situation as this guy in my blog post. And then I'm going to slightly relate it to what Jordan is going through. Although I think guys today probably have it worse because it's so much more accessible. That's why I think that when we get into the topic of body count, women bristle at that. Because they want to say body count doesn't matter. Okay, then what's your body count? Oh, if it doesn't matter, if it's not a big deal, then what's your body count? I'm not going to tell us. Why? Are you an insecure guy? No, you said it wasn't a big deal. I'm just curious. So they won't say it. And I'll tell you the reason they won't say it is because that's evidence. Pictures, a VHS tape, photography, that's evidence. What is it evidence of? It's evidence of the fact that they can be way, way more sexual with some other guy, and they won't even give you a blowjob, right? They can be way more sexual with that, with 5 guys and 1 girl. Nala Ray most definitely has had group sex. Trust me, she's had sex with women and with men and both, right? How come that level? I'm just curious. Maybe I'm wrong, but does that kind of sexual enthusiasm translate over into good Christian married sex with Jordan on the Nala Ray podcast? I would be very interested to know that, because here's the thing is the guy says that it's hard for him to get past that. I just pray it away. Right? No, you don't. It's still you married this chick. That was part of the deal. She's done this before. And the thing is I think that what happens, and this is me spitballing here, I'm not saying this is the way it is, but this is my speculation, is that when guys get into the situation, and not just Jordan, but like guys in general, when they get with some woman who has a past, was it Logan Paul? Is he the one that married that girl that had been with all of them? Yeah, been with all of them. You marry a woman with a past, and you know about that past. You've seen it happen. You watched it because she recorded it, because it was her OnlyFans, or maybe not even that. Maybe she did it and it was, available as pay-per-view content, right? Or maybe it was maybe it's her having fun with her girls on Instagram. Maybe it's not even sex. Maybe there's a suspicion that she fucked those guys, right? But she's way more wild. She's a whole different person. She's fun. She's sexually adventurous. She's sexually enthusiastic. She wants to fuck those guys. But does that translate does that same intensity come into the marriage? I'm going to say it doesn't. At least not in this case, not with them. Right? I have really great sex with my wife. It's awesome, right? But she doesn't have an OnlyFans, right? She was never a Nala Ray, right? So is there, I think pretty much every guy is going to be suspicious of that, period. Now it's even worse if the woman is an alpha widow. If she had a really intense boyfriend that is no longer an option anymore. Maybe he's actually dead, right? Or maybe he's incarcerated, or maybe he's just, she couldn't lock the guy down. She was in her college years. She was 23, 24. She couldn't lock this guy down, and you were plan B. You were the understudy. You were the guy who would do. But the guy who does, the guy who's like, he is never going to be as exciting as the guy that she met, the hot guy in the foam cannon party on spring break in Cancun, and want to have a threesome with him, right? Your chick is capable of that. Your woman is capable of doing that. And even if she's never done that, she's capable of that. She has much more fun with other people that is not you. What are you going to, now you're locked in, and now you're till death do us part, forsaking all others, for richer, for poorer, in sickness and in health, right? Now you're locked in. What are you going to, like, where do you go with that? You want to know why that's frustrating? You want to know why that guy is like psychologically damaged from that? It's because he's trapped. How does he get away from that? How do you get to that intense, that level of intensity for desire and sex? How do you get to that level of enthusiasm? She's capable of it. She's just not capable of it with you. And that was why the Saving the Best post was such a good, such a high traffic post, because I think a lot of guys can relate to this. Because remember, the 80% of guys are deemed unattractive. They're the invisibles, right? And then there's the 20% of guys who are trying to sort of find a way around, do an end around, right? I shouldn't even say that. It's the 15.5%. And then there's the 4.5% that make OnlyFans videos with Nala Ray, right? There's the 4.5% of guys who women desire and want to have hot monkey sex with, in spite of themselves, in spite of being, like, was it those guys that made that one dating profile? Oh, yeah. And it was the guy who's like really super good looking, and they said, "Oh yeah, I just got out of jail, and I was, I beat the sexual assault charges or whatever." Like, women were just like, "I don't care, come assault me," Mike Sartain got in a lot of trouble for saying this, and I'm gonna probably get in a lot of trouble for repeating it. Mike Sartain said this. He said, "Most guys never fuck a 4." I thought about that, and I go, maybe 4 is a little harsh, but sort of a 5, right? Most guys never fuck a 5. And the more we the more we expect average women to be attracted to or be aroused by average men, which they are not, we're still trying to figure out how we can get women. Like, you want to solve the marriage crisis, you want to solve the gender, like, how do we get men and women together again? I have another video here I'm going to show you here about like why is it that men aren't like, it's all over everybody, every influencer's site right now is like, men aren't approaching. They don't want to go to speed dating. Men aren't going out. They're not, and guys are like, yeah, finally these girls are paying attention. Right? No, they're not. They just can't find the right kind of guy, which is the guy that they really want to have sex with. Right? That's who they want to marry. Like, women don't want to marry a Jordan. Women don't want to marry a guy who isn't also, like, not only does he have to be an elite level guy when it comes to provisioning, protection, and parental investment, makes money, is funny, has all these great character traits for him, loves her, is compassionate, emotionally available, blah, 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 blah. But he also looks hot. And she like fantasizes about having sex. Like, how many, like, ladies, I don't know how many women are in the audience, right? How many women fantasize about their husband while they are at work? I can't wait to get home and get after it. Like, how many? I would say not very many. I was talking to who's it, Monica Almaguer, who's got the podcast, was it A Marriage with Monica? Mm-hmm. And that's one I saw. If you haven't seen this, by the way, she interviewed Cappy. She interviewed Aaron Clary recently. It was a pretty good conversation. I actually watched the whole thing, which I skim through it, but I watched the whole thing. And Cappy was promoting his book, I Don't Want to Have a Three-Way with Jesus, right? But the topic of the show really was like, how do we get Christian couples to actually want to fuck each other? And I think that's a real problem right now. I mean, it's a problem enough that Aaron Clary had to write a goddamn book about it. I got to solve this for people. And like, she'll have the same conversation with Lauren Ponce, right? She'll have the same conversation with me. Like, how do we, she encourages hot monkey sex in marriage. Great. I'm honest. Okay, go ahead. Good for you. But how do you go about doing that in a couple like Nala Ray and Jordan? She's had hot monkey sex. I will guarantee you there is no fucking way that Jordan had the same intense sexual experiences while he was single that are in any way comparative to Nala's sexual past. And I think that's what throws people off. Ladies, you want to know why body count matters to guys. This is why. That right there is exactly why. I think about it all the time. It just, haunts me, and I have to pray it away. I have to ask God to push it out of my brain. Like, it's so intense. You got to ask the creator of the universe to push that shit out of your mind. That's how intense it is. That's men's level of desire, men's level of commitment. And you know what it's really about? It's not necessarily, I keep having these visions of her. Oh, I'm comparing myself to the guys that she was, who had a 10-inch dick, and I don't have that, right? I don't even think it's that. I mean, I'm sure it is on some level, right? But I think it's the fact that, like, why isn't she doing those same things with me? And what women will do, and that's in a married situation, the first thing they'll do is say, well, like I was reading to you in my post here, I didn't want you to think I was a slut. Ladies, let me be clear. Every man wants a slut. He just wants her to be his slut. That's it. It's very simple. Like, a guy loves lingerie. A guy loves for you to be very sexually adventurous, to the gymnastics, the hanging from the chandeliers, sucking his dick 10 different ways, taking it up the, whatever. Yes. And especially if you're the one that says, do me now. Like, if you're the one initiating it, like, if you want your guy to succeed, you want him to strive, you want him to, like, fuck man, I got to keep the house going. I got to keep the lights on. I got to make sure that, because I got a really hot bitch at home and she just wants to have sex with me all the time. I'm not saying you like, there's going to be times when you're lined into it, whatever. I get it. But the thing is if there's that natural, if you ladies, maybe this is a better way of explaining it. If you expect a man to be elite level, because that's all I hear, especially from tradfluence, from trad wives, or potential trad wives, or from God pill girls, whatever you want to call them, girls gone by, whatever. The first thing I hear is, like, he's got to have this. He's got to be this. He's got to be this. He's got to be this. Women are, I don't care if you're Christian. I don't care if you're Muslim. I don't care if you're Jewish. I don't care if you're Hindu. I don't care if you're a Sikh. I don't care if you're whatever it is. The convictions, the religious convictions make no difference. Women still are women. They still want certain things out of a guy. They want a guy who's 6 feet tall, finance, 6'5", trust fund, blue eyes, whatever the fuck the song says. Right now, there's within ranges of tolerance. I get it, but the thing is there are certain variables that are pretty much thematic to women's sexual desire across the board. And it doesn't matter what religion she is. People say, well, my girl's not hypergamous because she came from a good Christian family and they taught her not to, and we had a arranged marriage and everything. Even your arranged marriage is still based on hypergamy. I hope you know that. Like, my friends in India, we're going to get you marry you away. Mm-mm. You know who's dealing with a hypergamous situation? Her mom and your dad. It's the same fucking thing. Right? Whether that hypergamous control has been taken away from the woman or not, you're still in the framework of hypergamy. That's just the way we do it as human beings. Look, no woman wants to trade down. No woman says, "Oh, you know what? Oh, he makes too much money." No. I want a guy who he makes he makes $500,000 a year. No, I need a guy who makes $100,000 a year. There's no woman that says that. There's no woman that says, oh, it's okay. I don't want a guy who looks like Chris Evans. I want a guy who's got a little bit a rounder belly.
Dad bod, please.
Dad bod. Yes. Oh, dad bods are sex? No, dad bods is a form of control.
And then the dad bod they think about is fucking
Jason Momoa. Yeah. And by the way, man, Chief of War is a badass series too. I just want to say.
Off-season Chris Bumstead.
Yes. Off-season. It's true. It's very true. They don't want that. They don't want that. Even your good Christian girl doesn't want that. And you know what? You're not going to go, okay, Lord in heaven, please make me more aroused by my husband, even though he has a beer gut and he works at Walmart. You could pray all day long. It's not going to make your vagina tingle. You know, or you on the other side. I know she's a little overweight now, Lord, but I pray that I get a boner for her. Amen. No. There are certain physical aspects. There's just certain unnegotiables that have to happen. So stop it. God damn it. Stop it with this horse shit, man. Just like when I talk about, like I was just saying before, this makes me fucking crazy. I was saying before, it's like when I see these guys, these pastors that are up on the stage and everything, we're talking about all these really ephemeral reasons why you have to, you got to look at her soul and not look at her outward appearance, and don't, her long hair and her beautiful breasts and like that. No, you have to look in the inner qualities. And is she this and is she that? And does she have, morals? And is she, a godly woman of God who's godding in all the time? Right? If she's overweight, like the people will say, well, we have so many single women in the ministry, and these guys are they're not stepping up. They're not stepping up because they're fat. They're not stepping up because they're single moms. They're not stepping up because they don't look good, because they have a past that is very much similar to Nala Ray, and they don't want to get into this milquetoast, vanilla plain wallflower kind of sex. Especially if you expect those guys to be incels until they're 30 before they marry that chick. And you're expecting them to marry the single mom or a chick who's, don't look at her beauty. It's okay if she's got a little bit more pounds, more to love. God wants you to do. God wants you to have the baby. God wants you to be attracted. God wants you to be with this chick. No, he doesn't. Because if he did, I would have a heart on. It will be manifest. None of that is going to make any difference. And that's until pastors can fucking accept this, it's a curb this fucking high. Oh no, Lord, you men need to take responsibility. I am taking responsibility. You know what I'm doing? I'm taking responsibility. I'm getting the fuck out of this church, and I'm going to find a woman who's like, looks good, is fun, is interesting, and looks great and fucks great. How about I do that? And I will be happy and she will be happy, because we both have this mutual, value of staying in shape for each other and having really great dynamic sex with each other. Oh, and you know who else will be happy? We'll have more healthy kids because of that, because mommy and daddy will stay together. They'll stay together because sex is the glue that holds the marriage together. That's why. Other than that, you're just roommates. I don't want a roommate. I don't want a chick who's holding back all the time. She's so self-conscious of everything. I'm the guy. And this is why I called, okay, so I have to back up a little bit. The reason why I called that post Saving the Best is because it's the first part of saving the best for last. And what happens is guys who, let's just say, hypothetical Christian couple, right? Here's the guy, he hasn't touched his dick for 30 years because he's not supposed to. He's not addicted to porn. He is a healthy, red-blooded American male, and he meets that girl, and he expects to be her best sexual experience of her life, because she, likewise, is supposed to wait until she's at least 28 or maybe 30 years old before they get married, and she's supposed to be the best sexual experience of anything. Always have the best sex of his life is supposed to be with his wife. Why? Because she saved herself for marriage, and he saved himself for marriage. They don't know any different, right? I mean, ignorance is bliss. But the thing is then you've got like Nala Ray and you've got Jordan, right? Well, Jordan's probably thinking, how come I'm not getting that pussy? How come she was like, did everything with that guy, but she doesn't want to do those things with me. And the same thing with the guy that was in my essay here. Why aren't you like why? I see you do this. You're telling these guys, I want to be your slut, right? Why are you not that way with me? Why aren't you telling me to fuck you? Why aren't you? Why is it like, and why don't, here's the better question is, why don't you want to? Why do you not have the desire to do that? And I'll tell you right now, because she married a guy who was just, he'll do. She didn't marry you for your dick. She didn't marry you because she has a genuine burning arousal, a lust for you. And I will use that word because I think lust is actually a good thing. It gets you lust, often gets you to love. Okay. But the fact of the matter is that you have this mitigated, you basically, it's like you have a friend zone marriage. That's what he is as a friend. Like, I'll have sex with him because I'm duty bound to have that, because we're in a Christian marriage, right? And it says here in the Bible that you're not supposed to deny yourself, and the wife's body is the man, the husband's, and the husband's body is the wife's, right? It says it right here. You're obligated to have sex with me, and I'm obligated to have sex with you, right? Not that like, which way does that actually go, right? More, I mean, I could, if I can, you want the studies? I'll show you the studies. Men have higher sex. Do you need a study? Men have higher sex drives than women, period. And I can also show you the studies of after about 4 years of marriage, sex tends to taper off. It tends to drop off. Sexual desire tends to drop off. And it's usually the man who is the one who is feeling the brunt of that. It's the woman who loses interest in sex, and then that's when the sex falls off. And when you poll women who have been married for about 4 years, maybe more, they will say, oh yeah, we have just about the right amount of sex. And you poll their husbands, and they're like, I wish we were doing it like 4 times a week instead of like 1 time a week or 1 time a month. And so you look at sexlessness statistics, and okay, so what is sexlessness? Sexlessness is this. This is by the CDC, okay? A sexless marriage is having sex with your husband or wife, right? 10 times a year or less. So that's like less than once a month. If that's the case, if you're having sex like once every 6 weeks, you're in a sexless marriage. Even though you might have, or she's, gives you starfish sex, and I got to fold the laundry. You're in a sexless marriage. But you know what? You poll the woman, she go, I think we have about the right amount of sex. And the guy's going to go, I got to rub one out. So why am I getting into this conversation? Is because that is what gets these guys. So that's what causes porn addictions. That's what a porn habit. I'm not going to call it an addiction. Sorry. A porn habit. And that's where women have to draw the line. So you got women who, especially in the moralistic Christian side of things, you got women who will find loopholes to get to divorce. Because according to the Bible, the only reason you can get divorced is if through marital infidelity, right? Jesus said, in fact, right? So, and the other thing is that if a man looks at another woman with lust in his eyes, he's already committed adultery with her. Yeah. Guess what? Annulment, time to go to the divorce attorney. You looked at that woman you have a wandering eye, right? You looked at that woman with lust in your eye. How do I know? Well, you're rubbing one out to porn, right? That must be. Here it is. I see what you're doing. I see what you're doing. That's where that comes from. So if a man, this is mostly men, right? If a man looks at a woman with lust in his heart or lust in his eye, he's already committed adultery with her. So that is de facto a cause for divorce. Because if the only way you can get to divorce is through marital infidelity, and your husband is watching porn, he's looking at other women with lust in his eyes, guess what? You have legal, emotional, and spiritual grounds to divorce him. I've tried everything. We went to counseling. He went to these divorce courses. He went to this and this and this. And he just couldn't stop jerking off. So I guess we're a one-way ticket to a divorce court. I remember when Andrew Wilson was having it was with Rich Cooper and CGA, because he repeated himself on this one too. But I went and looked this up because I wanted to see what the divorce rate was for evangelical Christians. Because mostly, I'm okay, your ortho bro is great. I think it's 11% for them. If you're Hindu, it's only 5%. So Hindu's got it down. I don't know, maybe it's the Kama Sutra or something like that. I don't know, but they've got it down. I want to say the evangelical divorce rate is something like 11% or 16%. It's somewhere in there, depending on what large language engine you're using, right? So somewhere around there. But I do know this is that this, and I researched this in my book Religion. Back then, anyways, in 2020, 68% of Christian men admitted to struggling with pornography. So almost 70% of Christian guys struggle with pornography. Struggled with pornography. Okay. Why? Now, if you ask me or you ask Aaron Clary, it's going to be because that woman is not fucking her husband. Or it could be that she has a sexual past like Nala Ray, and she's not getting after it with her new husband with the same level of vigor that she was when she was an ex-porn star. I'm not saying that an ex-porn star can't get married. I'm not saying that. I'm not throwing down any kind of legalese. It takes a special kind of guy to say, well, I know she's a porn star, but, I still find some other aspects of her. It's great. I think what happens, though, is ladies, and you know who I'm talking to right now directly. Ladies, if you're with a guy and you are in porn, you are in commercial pornography, right? And you get with a guy who is a civilian, meaning he's not in the industry himself. You get a guy who is a civilian, you better be fucking him with the same intensity that you have when you're doing brazzers. Okay. You need to be having sex with him, if not more. Hey, you want to hey, we're going to fuck 6 times a day. Okay. Sounds good to me. Let's go. All right. You need to be having sex with that guy with the same intensity and the same enthusiasm and the same frequency and the same, because that, I will guarantee you, that guy will turn into Jordan Ray. Her last name is Ray now, right? So it would be. Would be Jordan, and that not being tormented by these visions of her and her red hair, and knocking it out with a dude and another girl, right? You'd be in the throes of passion and go, "Oh, I'm sorry, baby, I got to stop." Why? I keep thinking about you with another chick. Can we bring her in the bed? I don't know. What if I married her? Then, then I have 2 wives, and then we'd be happy. Somebody wanted to debate me about biblical polygyny recently, and I'm like, bring it. Let's go. I'm not going to debate you. I'm all for it. Go for it. That's going to be what Jordan Fit. His last name is Jordan Fit. Is that what it is? I don't think it's Jordan Fit. Steve O. I know this dude. I know that dude. Steve O's part of my Reignite group. Let's see. Steve O, what did you have to say? Oh, never let the church know your business. Exactly. I don't want the church to know my business, that's for sure. The female protagonist in Sex Life explicitly said to her husband that she didn't want to do super sexual acts with him at that convention with the other couple. Yeah. She'd be happy to do it with other people, but not you. Why? Why is it? Ladies, for the love of Christ, why? You're supposed to, this boggles my mind, and I've had this conversation on more than one occasion, right? It's like, why would you, ladies, why would you, consent to a contract, a marriage contract, to only have sex with one guy for the rest of your fucking life if you weren't having sex with him the same level of intensity that you did with the hot guy in the foam cannon party in Cancun, or whoever you were shooting porn with or OnlyFans with? Why? Does that not, granted, I can't explain female logic, okay? Why would you get with that guy if you weren't going to, there wasn't going to be hot monkey sex all the time, if you didn't think that was possible? Why would you get into a relationship with that guy? Why would you have a long-term relationship with that guy, much less marry the dude? I can't marry you. Why? Well, because I can't really give myself fully to you. I've seen these interviews of older women who are they have these confessions to their granddaughters. Yeah. It's grandma and granddaughter. And so they're having these sort of, I don't want to say deathbed, but this end of life kind of conversations. She's imparting some sort of, matronly wisdom to her granddaughters. And a common theme is, I loved Henry, but he could never have all of me. He could never have the special part of me. He never could totally own me, right? He didn't own this pussy, basically is what she's saying. There was another guy, his name was Johnny, and he died at Dead Man's Curve in the 1950s, right? And, you know, I do it all for Johnny. It's the same thing as like at the end of Titanic, right? Everybody loves, and I've used this before, so yeah, here we go. At the end of Titanic, when Rose finally says, you know, she takes the $250 million,
Yeah,
quarter of $1 billion, drops the shit to the bottom of the ocean. Instead of like leaving it as a trust fund or leaving it as a, you know, like some sort of annuity later on in life for her kids or for, you know, charity or whatever, she drops it to the fucking bottom of the ocean, all for one dude she met and she banged on the Titanic. What was it? $250 million to $500 million today.
It's inspired by the Hope Diamond.
The Hope Diamond. Okay. Ladies, what the fuck? Like, explain this to me. Ladies, please explain it to me. Rose, please explain. This is arguably, I mean, maybe Bally Beth Stuckey doesn't think so because she thinks Wuthering Heights is a great thing. But Titanic won so many, like it won Best Picture in 97, right? And it won so many Academy Awards. It is largely held as the greatest love story ever told. And Rose is the villain of this story. I mean, literally. I mean, when you look at it remember how we say, you know, once you put the red pill lenses on, you can't see any different. This is one of those instances where you can't see any different. And she's literally telling this whole story about this homeless dude who has no money. And I know that there's been parodies, and I know there's a real and there's an AI thing about what would have happened if they survived. Right? I get it. But that one line in the movie that was in the movie that they left in, they specifically punctuated it with that one line: I would rather be his whore than your wife. Now imagine you still marry that chick who wants to be this other guy's whore, but she's your wife. That's why body count matters. That's why your sexual past matters. It's not like, I've said this from an evolutionary perspective. I've said this before, is that the reason why guys are concerned with body count is because they want to ascertain paternity. They want to make sure that the baby that comes out of your cooter is their baby. That takes nothing of this away, right? But they want you to be their whore. A husband wants every man wants a slut. He just wants her to be his slut. I want you to do all those nasty, dirty things with me. I want the whole reason. Why would you ever get married to me if I wasn't the best guy you were fucking? Because you're going to have to fuck me for the rest of your life. You're going to have, like, till death do us part in front of God and our family and everybody else here. I believe that you are sent to my bride has been sent from heaven above, right? But you're not her best sexual experience. Imagine living like that. Imagine Jordan here 20 years from now, 30 years from now. Imagine that. Let's just say they beat the odds. It takes some intense gaslighting and some like deliberate sticking your head in the sand. But the fact of the matter is she would rather be his whore than your wife. Thank you, Rose from Titanic, the greatest love story ever told. I should have named that. She would rather be his whore than your wife. I'm going to retitle the show for that. That's like we can't just leave body count on the table with holding women accountable. How do you hold them accountable? Well, you hold them accountable so guys like Jordan don't get into the situation that Jordan is in right now. He married lucky him. He married a whore who fucks like a prude. Because I will guarantee, maybe she doesn't fuck like a prude. I can't say that. I don't know firsthand, okay? But I do know this. She's probably not fucking him the same way that she fucked all those other guys on camera. It was an act. I was that way because I had to be, and because that's what was expected of me. And I don't want you to think less of me. And I don't want you to think I'm a slut. And I don't want you to think I'll do like. And what does she say? And when he's going to say, you know what, I'm out. The desire level's not there. I'm leaving. And by the way, the follow-up Reddit post was he actually did divorce her. So bravo, exactly what he should have done. But he left her not because of the sex act, not because of her sexual past, but because she could never desire him sexually the same way she did when she's knocking it out with 5 guys and 1 chick. And I will tell you right now, Nala Ray will never fuck Jordan with the same intensity and the same enthusiasm that she did with the people in her past. I guarantee you that. And even if she could even approach that, he's still going to think, why is she doing this? Is she doing this because she feels obligated to do this? Is she doing this because she really has a desire for me? Like, the biggest problem I have with quote unquote tradcon sex or Christian sex, whatever, is this duty sex. And I've talked about this with, I remember the first time I got into this topic, it was with Pat Campbell. And you could hear this audible gasp in that because they loved it. Like the girls who were in his studio, these producers and stuff like Carly and the rest of these chicks, they loved me and they hated me at the same time because I brought up shit that just made them, he's right, but fuck, I hate that he's right, you know? And there you go. But there was this audible gasp when I said sex is the glue that holds a marriage together. No, it can't be. Well, yeah, okay, so I guess you're right. So if that's the case, if sex is the glue that holds your marriage together, without it, there's no marriage. Without it, there's not a wife. Without it, there's not kids. Without it, there's not that intimate connection between a man and his wife, right? And without sex, there is no marriage. Why can't we just fucking get this through our heads? That's why it's important. That's why it's important to the guy. So if it's that important, then why would you want to marry somebody who's not the best lay of your life? And maybe I'm not doing anybody a favor. I'm not doing fertility rates a favor by saying this, because women will go, well, I don't want to marry him. Why? Well, because he's just kind of meh in the bed. And it's not him. It's not anything you're doing. It's me. Well, and then I have to also, before I kill this topic all entirely here, also look at what she did in the essay. Look at what she did once he said, you know what, fuck it, I'm out, now peace out, right? I can do that for you. I can change. Like it's the act, as if the act is why he's leaving. Like, oh, I can take it in the butt. I can have, or I can suck your dick, or whatever. I can do all of those things for you. No, I've been with you for 7 years and you have never wanted to do any of those things for me. And our sex has been starfish, boring, vanilla, nothing sex. And yet I know that you're capable of this. And I'm supposed to be the guy that you wanted to spend the rest of your life with. So why did you marry me in the first place? And I'll tell you why. Because he's got money, because he has security, because he's safe, whatever it is. Because he's the perfect Christian husband. He's an incel. He has provisioning, protection, and parental investment, and he believes that it's his godly duty to do those things. It kills me. Like I talk about this all the time when I talk about hypergamy, how I've tried to redefine the term hypergamy for the longest time. And people want to say, you're not a doctor. You don't have a doctorate in front of your name, Rollo. You don't get to change. Fuck hell I do. I can change whatever the fuck I want to. Hypergamy is supposed to be the tendency for women to want to marry up socioeconomically. At least if you go by the dictionary definition of it. But if you use Jordan Peterson and my definition of it, it's not just that. It's also about fucking up, right? It's also about alpha fucks and beta bucks. So if you use the dual mating strategy for women, there's a short-term sexual and there's a long-term security, right? The woman wants short-term biological benefits. She wants a hot guy. She wants a good sexual experience. And then she also needs long-term security in provisioning, protection, parental investment, money, resources, humor, intelligence, all this good stuff. He's got to be competent. He's got to do all this stuff and by the way, that's all you will ever hear any religious authority say. You got to do this and you got to do that. When they're saying you got to take more responsibility, the responsibility is always make more money, be a better protector, be a better provider, be a servant leader, be all these things. And everything that they describe as responsibility is just the beta buck side of that equation. It's only about that. It's not about how intense is she fucking me? How great is the sex? How awesome is it? How many babies are we going to have because we can't keep our fucking hands off each other? Does she actually have genuine desire for me? Or is she going to just give you sort of like this, well, I have sex with him. We have babies. You put a baby in me. That's what I'm getting at. So guys, a message to Christian pastors, okay? You need to start encouraging your flock, the females there, to I'm not going to tell you to tell them to go fuck their husbands because I'm already blue in the face from saying that. Go listen. Aaron Clary will tell you that. Aaron Clary will tell you to go fuck your husband. I'm going to tell you this. What Christian pastors, here's what you need to do. you need to tell your female members of your congregation to reassess why they're with that guy in the first place. Why are they with Jordan? If he's not the fucking best, here, this would be great. If you are a Christian pastor, ask the women in your flock, is he the best sex you've ever had? That will never happen. maybe that's too much. Ask them to reassess their attraction levels and their arousal levels with the guy. Because 9 times out of 10, the girls can say, hey, he's a great Christian guy. He comes from a good family. He has this. He takes care of me and the babies and everything else. And I just don't want to fuck him because he's boring as fuck. Right? Well, why? Why is that? Well, remember the Tony Robbins thing. The guy wouldn't stand up to her. The guy wouldn't lay it down. He says, come and get over here and suck this dick. Like, he's not going to do that because he's walking on eggshells all the time. In fact, that was the title of the video, was walking on eggshells. So even Tony Robbins, you need to handle your women. You need to get your bitches in pocket, man. Because I think because it's a two-way street, right? And so whenever I see these guys and they'll give this sermon or whatever, you need to be a better leader in your home, like that last one I did. You need to be intentional, and you need to lay down rules, and you need to have boundaries, and you don't get to do any of that. Why bother with any of that if there's not even the most like remote level of reciprocal sex involved in that marriage? Why? Because I will tell you right now, there is no equal exchange of value in that marriage, in my marriage, in your marriage, in anybody. There's no equal exchange of value. It's not 50-50. Remember we were talking about the chick who was like, oh, I carry his 80 if he's only 20. No, you fucking don't. You know why? Because that guy has to die for you. His expectation is to put his life before yours. It's not even his expectation. His biological imperative, his evolutionary imperative is to put his body in front of your body if bullets start flying. In fact, he'll put his body in front of women he doesn't know because that's his biological imperative. If that's the case, you will never have equality amongst the sexes if one sex is expected to endure physical damage and or die for the other one. Nothing compares to that. I don't care if it's, oh, we give you babies. I die. We have sex with you, I die. I don't know, I've got my own business and I have my own custom cupcake company and my fucking, I do nails, we die. What else you got? Next time, if you're a guest on a podcast like me, if you're a guest on a podcast and and one of the hosts says, hey, what do you ladies bring to the table? Like how often has like Brian said that on whatever podcast? What do you bring to the table? That's a stupid question. Stop asking that question because the answer is always nothing. Nothing. You can bring to the table, I bring love and commitment and sex and this and that. Like Tommy Lahren couldn't say what remember when Andrew Wilson was like, yeah, well, what's in it for men? That's the same question as like, what do you bring to the table, right? Mm-hmm. And Tommy she went into kernel panic because of that, man. She's, the bar is like scrolling and it just keeps going. And because she didn't know what to say, because really the only thing she could say is, get this pussy, get this cooter. This is worth dying for. This pussy is worth dying for. Well, that's not the case with Jordan. Even if that's the case, even if you're sexual, ladies, women's only real agency is their sexuality. Not to say it's the only one, but it is their first best one. Let's just put it that way. Okay. That's why I've said this on so many times on Twitter. People always ask me to define this. Maybe I should clarify this. Whenever somebody shows me a picture of some chick who's decided to take her clothes off in Cosmopolitan or the Atlantic or something like that, it's usually like, is it Christina Porsakova or whatever her name was? That chick who's like 56 years old and she wants to show you how great her body is still at 56, right? Why? Why? Or you'll see these chicks who'll do these like feminist protests out on the streets of, I don't know, Bucharest or wherever the fuck they are, right? And they're always feminine, right? They take off their shirt and it's got some written thing all across their tits, right? Why? Why don't you go out there and just like raise hell and have something on a t-shirt or something like that? The reason why is because women's first impulse when they want attention and they know this works is to show their boobs. Sexuality is women's first best agency. That's why they take their clothes off. It's the hashtag I started. They always take their clothes off. They always get naked, right? And there's so many examples. Like, don't challenge me. You will lose, ladies. That doesn't always. Yes, it does. I will show you a million examples and you show me one counter example. Not even that. Trust me, if the chicks who were like the freshman class of the Congress, remember when they were at the State of the Union and Trump was in there and they all wore white? Mm-hmm. If they could take their clothes off and show their tits on commercial TV, they would have done that just to get that attention, man. Hey, what if we show our tits? No, we can't do that because the camera's been okay. What if we wore white? Oh, that'll do. All right, let's go with the white outfits. Okay. But I'm black. Doesn't matter. Just put the white outfit on. Trust me, if they could, they would have gone topless to the State of the Union address. They would have. And boy, would everybody have been distracted. They would have paid attention. They know they're right. They will get attention for that because that's their agency. Okay, well, but see, that pales in comparison to men dying, being evolutionarily hard-coded to die for you, to take a bullet for you. That's why when Tommy Lahren was having that debate on Piers Morgan with Andrew Wilson, that's why she didn't have an answer for Andrew when he said, "What's in it for guys?" Because he's approaching it from an egalitarian perspective. And remember, we talked about respect being like egalitarian for women and it's merit-based for men, right? The reason why that was offensive to her is because she didn't think he was a real man. Real men don't ask those questions. Why? Because real men, their respect is based on merit. For women, if you have a cooter, you're supposed to just take it on the chin. You're just supposed to grin and bear it because you guys have all the power, right? Respect is something everybody should have, right? Except for men. What's in it for me? Oh, a real man wouldn't ask that. Why? Because a real man who's worth my time and worth my effort and everything else, that wouldn't even cross his mind. Just respect women. His mama should have taught him that when he was 5. By the way, she still can't answer that question. She's still struggling with that shit. Like, God forbid she gets that one thrown at her again. She can't, because he's asking a question from an egalitarian perspective. Okay, well, if I have to be this level of elite, I have to do this. I have to be the best sex you've ever had. And I also have to be 6'5" and I have to make all this money. I have to do all this. Only elite men can get married. Dalrock talked about this like way back in like the day, man, back in 2013, 2014. Marriage is only for elite men, at least I'm not saying that's true. Obviously, people get married all the time. But I'm saying, according to that mindset, according to the woke, feminist, female, trad wife, and yes, the trad wife mindset, only elite men should be getting married. And according to your pastor, most pastors anyways, you shouldn't even think about getting married until you're at an elite level. You should what do you mean? I should. Charlie said just to have sex marry early, find a chick, get married, and have babies. Good luck, because the chick the girls in your own church still want that elite level guy. And if that were the case, then you wouldn't see the marriage rates at what they are right now. Like what I said last week when I was joking around with Patrick Bet David. We're going to increase the fertility rate by giving you a tax break for $25,000 after your 3rd kid, but you still got to be married. You still got to have 2 other kids. You still got to be gainfully employed. There's all these like caveats, and you're talking to I would love to go and do the demographic breakdowns of this. Maybe Aaron Clary can help me with this. Like, find out how many guys have a wife. And they've been married to her for X amount of years. They have 2 children. They have a 3rd child, and then they have a 4th child. And what's the percentage of the population that is in that situation to begin with? And she's not making as much as he is, so it keeps the marriage stable. He's making a good amount of money, and he qualifies for that $25,000 tax break that PVD has proposed. Right? I wonder what level of population is actually in that. I would say probably very few, because most babies are born out of wedlock in the United States. Well, 42%. In the Black community, it's 77%. In the Asian community, it's only 12%. It just depends on who we're talking about. In aggregate, 42% of children born in the United States are born out of wedlock. I keep seeing this. Once again, I'm going to quote the Morgan Stanley Rise of the She Economy forecast. It was an article written by Morgan Stanley. Nobody ever gives you the link. It's called The Rise of the She Economy is what it is. And nowhere in The Rise of the She Economy does it say that women, by 2030, that women will be single and most women will be single and childless by 2030. It does not say that in the fucking article. Stop repeating that lie. You're laundering data. You're laundering bad data is what you're doing. It says nothing about childlessness at all. It only says this. It says women between the ages of the working ages, prime working ages, because that's what it's about. It's just following the money on Morgan Stanley, right? Between 25 and 44, they consider that prime working age for women. That 43% of prime working age women between 25 and 44 will be single by 2030. Doesn't say childless. They might still have kids. They won't be married. They will be single. They will be unpartnered. Does that sound better? Unpartnered. They might still have kids. Maybe not, but they might still. Remember, 42% of children in the United aggregate are born out of wedlock in the United States already. Stop repeating that horse shit. Okay? Nowhere in that article does it have anything to do with childbearing. It's only tracking employment, eligible employment for women in that. I've been banging that for fucking since 2018, man. Pat Campbell and I could touch that. We're the ones to break that story. It's data laundering. It's what it is. It's all data laundering. What do you got? What's up, Rollo? Which would you recommend as my first book, The Rational Male or your latest Reignite? My first book is always, I'm going to say, read the first one. The first one lays the foundation. You don't have to read my other books in any particular order. It just depends on what your interest is. So, for instance, read the first book. And if you're interested in why does game work? Read The Player's Handbook. If you're interested in why do women do these things at this age and this age? What can I expect from women? Read the second book, which, by the way, is very, very popular. Right? That's the sleeper hit of all 6 of them is Preventative Medicine, because it goes along a timeline and gives guys sort of a rough idea of what to expect from women at various ages of women's maturity. Right? And then if you are coming out of a bad divorce, or if you are trying to rebuild your life, or if you've been zeroed out for some reason, Reignite gives you actionable information. It will help. I'm not going to say it's a prescription because I don't do prescriptions, but it certainly points you in the right direction so you can make your own prescriptions, so you can decide what you want to do with it, right? So Reignite is intentionally made, or I wrote that intentionally, so people will have a better idea of how these, what are otherwise disparate concepts in the red pill, mental point of origin, mindset, which is a loaded term anyways, the burden of performance, frame. There's a huge thing on frame. Would you like to know how to avoid sugar babies? There's a full dedicated chapter to it in there too. So it's meant to help guys sort of to navigate the sexual marketplace coming out of a bad marriage, or maybe helping you understand for the first time, if you help you start living in a way where you're going to get the results that you want. Because as Mystery has always said, you will only get what you've gotten if you keep doing what you've done. So, yeah. But read the first one first, and then it depends on your interest to read whatever. If you're interested in religion, Rollo, I don't believe in premarital sex. Read religion. That will help you in a big way. I've been dating a violent BPD. God damn, let's get down to business now.
Violence.
She's hit, punched, slapped, and spelt with guys, with guy friends in the slept with guys, spelt. What, she playing Scrabble with? Slept with guys in the same bed. She said nothing happened. I'm scared. Leave. I'm scared. Leave. I feel bad. I know I should 5 years ago, I presume. I'm 26. Nothing has changed. Dude, that's on you. Why are you with this person? Leave. Here's what you do. Get out. Easy. Get out. Leave. Do you have children? I really should. I should have saved that one. That one clip from Owen Wilson where he's saying, "If you didn't get her pregnant, you won the lottery." Yeah. If you didn't get her pregnant, feel like you thank your lucky stars. Pray to whatever God you pray to, right? Because he deals with guys that like in his program where it's like, yeah, I'm a single dad and like I can't go out and I can't like game and I can't meet chicks anymore because I have my, I've got to be a good dad too and everything. And God, she's crazy. She's a BPD and all this stuff. Imagine you have kids with the BPD girlfriend. God, I can't even because I had a BPD girlfriend. I did not realize the bullet I dodged way back in my 20s. I was 25. I was 25 years old. I did not realize the bullet I had dodged until I started studying psychology. Like when I was going for my psychology degree.
Yeah.
First time I was, whenever they, like in psychology, when you're an undergrad student in Psychology 101, they will introduce you to the DSM, which is the Diagnostic and Statistical Manual, which is like, here's all the shit that can be wrong with somebody. Right? This is all the head cases. It's a menu of head cases, right? And the first thing they tell you is, you're going to find some aspects of these personality disorders or these things that are wrong with people, and you're going to apply them to your mom and to your brother and to your best friend and to the ex-girlfriend and all this other stuff. And they warn you, right? It's not just because they manifest one of these things doesn't mean they're actually crazy, right? But then I read the cluster B personality disorders, and I read borderline personality disorder, and I swear to God, I got chills when I read that. I'm going, I'm reading this. I'm like, oh my God, she had all of these symptoms. And yeah, she did this. And yeah, she did that. And oh my God. And now that I'm got the degree and now I'm out of school, right? If I'd met that person today, that ex-girlfriend today, I would have noticed that she was borderline personality disorder, like classic BPD. Now I had no clue when I was with her. All I knew was like, she was crazy in bed and she was crazy out of bed. And that's all my fucking 22, 23-year-old mind really cared about back then. So yeah, get out. There's only one solution to a BPD. And I don't care what anybody has to say to you. Get out. Just get out, get out, get out. Get out. That's the only solution. And by the way, you're not her therapist. You're not her personal Jesus. It's not incumbent on you to untangle her head space. You won't untangle it anyways. She's fucked up in the head. Get out. Just leave. Rollo, thanks for restacking my butterfly note. You're welcome. Your butterfly note. He's talking about this. God, I've never got more of a response on Substack. Is kind of like sometimes I get a few responses. There's a Twitter sort of vibe to Substack right now. And Siege posts this picture of this chick with a butterfly tattoo that was like on the back of her tricep or something like that. That's the only one. He was talking about like, are women with tattoos red flags? I looked at this like, oh, that ain't shit, man. Like, come to Vegas. And so I found this chick, and I actually personally know this chick. Okay. So I went to her Instagram. I pulled one of the pictures. And by the way, that's one of her more tame pictures. It's just her in a bikini. So you could see the degree of tattoos work. And it's beautiful work. And she's an absolutely stunning girl too. And I go, that's not a red flag. That's the chick you meet in Bible study. This is the chick that's a red flag. And by the way, these red flags are green flags if you're not trying to marry her. You will have a real fun time with that chick. And just keep it at that. Most guys can't. Remember, most guys haven't fucked a 5. Keep it at that and you'll do well. But boy, did that ever trigger a response on Substack. I didn't think people on Substack were that edgy. Look at what former Representative Marjorie Taylor Greene did to her husband and family. I didn't know if it was Marjorie Taylor Greene. Dig her up real quick. Because there's the other chick where the guy was standing by her, she fucked around on him with Lewandowski or Lewandowski, or whatever his name is. But that wasn't the one. She's the one who just got fired by Trump. That's not the same one. Which one was this? Marjorie Taylor Greene, known as the MTG, is an American politician and served as U.S. Representative of Georgia. What did she do? What has she done recently? Did she fuck around her husband? Colt, what is this? Is there some sort of like scandal going on? Who was the chick that Trump just fired? And it was because she was like fucking Lewandowski or something like that?
Honestly, I'm not even sure.
Oh, here it is. Sorry. I got it. Thank you, Sammy. Marjorie Taylor Greene's husband of 27 years files for divorce, citing irretrievably broken marriage. I think Georgia still has a no-fault thing, so don't worry about it. Let's see. Husband has filed for 27 years. Fuck, that's long. That's almost as long as me. Perry Greene, who wed Marjorie in 1995, claimed his marriage with her was irretrievably broken. The couple shares 3 children, none of whom are minors. The petition clarified that Perry and Marjorie previously separated, blah, blah, blah. Okay, a statement. She continued to give him she cheated on him? I'm presuming she cheated on him. Like, where's the scandal in all this? Marjorie has been the best friend, da, 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 da. So they're just getting divorced? Is it just a divorce, or did she fuck some other dude? Somebody in the chat will know. I don't know who. I only know the other chick who just got let go from the cabinet member. What the fuck's her name? She was somebody will give it. Noam, yeah, Christy Noam. She just got because she was fucking Lewandowski, and her man is the reason why that stuck. I'm wondering why you're not like referencing this guy. This dude. Well, good example, by the way. Thank you for bringing up Christy. Her husband is like, well, I'm a religious guy and I'm sticking by my woman because I don't believe in divorce. The house is burned down, bro. The house is burned down. You're like, nope, I'm not leaving this fucking burned down house. I don't care. I'll just go sleep in the ashes. I'm okay with it. I'm just gonna. She's got to divorce me. Like, would she be okay with that? She was fucking another guy. She's a high profile chick, or she was in the cabinet, wasn't she? They're already there with all of them. No, the first one I'm starting with. Well, there's already a hardcover of Reignite, so you can go get that now if you insist. I have hardcover. Have a hardcover of the first book is coming out. I'm going to say probably middle of April if I stick to my guns. That's the one I'm working on most. I have to reflow the text for that one. That's why, because it's like when you do hardcover, it throws all the dimensions off. So it's not as simple as just taking the soft cover and go make it a hardcover. No, you have to like rejigger the whole thing. So like you do the design, and so because it's wider, it's got a wider spine. There's more pages, much more pages now because I had to increase the type because everybody complained about how small the type was, which you're correct. It was very small, but I had to do that. So there's a lot of layout work that I'm doing in InDesign right now. And I do all of my own layout. I write all my own books, and I do all my own layout, and I do all my own covers. I'm a one-man fucking show, man. It's Ringling Brothers and Barnum Bailey Circus for me. Yes. No kids. I made her get an abortive. As I know my life would be over. Okay. An abortive? Are you one of those abortive guys? Because you're not abortive. So anyways, she was a hot wife. Is that what Christy was? Christy was a hot wife. Hot wifing is in your future. Keep looking. She cheated. Oh, she did cheat. Okay. So she did cheat. All right. So that other Marjorie cheated. We definitely know Christy Noam cheated. That chick Marjorie was from Georgia. So now we have the cheating housewives of Georgia. When are you doing a show with Ryan again? You really want me to? Oh, well, what time is it? We are at 2:17. Yeah, I would love to. You want me to do Ryan? I'll do Ryan again. Or Ryan do me. Yeah, sure. I've been meaning to do a show with Ryan anyways. I do have a little bit of weird news for you, and Siege is going to like this. As I got into a Twitter exchange with Joker from Better Bachelor, and it was after I was I think it was he wanted a clarification on my position on marriage, and I took him at face value, so I just answered. I wasn't a dick or anything. It's not like I don't like Joker, but thing is I had people asking me, why don't you do a show with Joker? And I'm like, doesn't he know Aaron Clary? So I hit up Aaron, And Aaron's like, yeah, we can do a show together. So I'm trying to set up a show between myself, Joker, and Aaron Clary in the foreseeable future, probably in April, because I got to get through my medical shit first. But like, if Joker comes to Vegas, fuck yeah, I'll do a show with him.
Hell yeah.
I would love to do that. Me, Clary, and Joker on the Rational Male would be fucking awesome. I'll do that. I would do a show with CGA, but CGA seems to want to hate everybody these days. Like, I like CGA, but he's like been throwing rocks at Myron and Fresh. I'm like, dude, you were in the studio with Fresh like last night, even 6 months ago, 8 months ago, right? Why are you coming at those guys? I don't know. Maybe he's just mad at the world or something like that. He just doesn't want. He's like, nobody's red pill except for CGA. Like, is there anybody CGA like lines up with? I like CGA. I don't have a problem with CGA. I never have had a problem with CGA. The only problem I had with CGA was when he was with Anthony Johnson at the 21 convention. That's one, because I don't work with retards, and I don't work with retards who work with retards. Thank you very much for that quote, Rich Cooper. Yeah, it's just because I think the thing is that like CGA was getting a lot of information about me from Anthony Johnson. And I will tell you right now, anybody who has worked with Anthony Johnson in the past knows he's full of shit. The dude is a pathological liar and a pathological personality. And there have been people who've been very close to him to this day who will back me up on that, rigorously back me up on that. So I think time has shown, time has proven I was right. And you know what? I'm not looking for an apology. I'm just saying, you know, if I snubbed you in the past because of that, it's not because of you, it's because of him. So it is what it is. When am I going to go Ryan again? I'll set that up. Ryan was just on Rule 0 with me yesterday. What are you talking about? Is that not enough? Oh, you want a solo? Okay. I'm going to go Ryan. Ryan, my audience demands it. Hi, Rolo. I want to ask why women are like that. Can you be a little more vague? All those kinks during love, they are like this, or are they like this, or it's some deviation from the natural state? P.S. Check isn't a Paul, send his regards. Okay, thanks for the very cryptic Polish message. He probably knew what he was saying, but like the translation from Polish, he's like, I know this is going to work. I think the gist of your question here is this: do they have like all those kinks during love? Are these deviation from the natural state? What is the natural state? Tell me what the natural state is. That's what I would like to know first. Because I had this. Okay, I'm just reiterating myself, so I don't think this is going to be a shock to anyone. Rollo Tomasi has one kink. Okay, you know what my kink is?
What's your kink?
I like to see my wife in lingerie. That's my kink. It's very vanilla, very pretty much. Even Aaron Clary shares the same kink with me. It's not a kink. Like what? That's it. It's not like, you know, chandelier sex. It's not like, you know, whips and chains. No, I just want you to see you. And I want to know that you're into it. How do I know that you're into it? You took the time to go and look through a catalog and say, he would really like this. That's, you know how I know you're into it is if you're wearing a garter belt and stockings and you wear the panties on the outside, then I know it's down. That's how you know you're getting laid. Right. And by the way, according to Sterling Cooper, and I can confirm the rumors, if a woman is wearing a scrunchie, like a hair tie around her wrist when she meets you for a date, you're getting laid that night. She plans to tie her hair back at some point during the night. So yeah, lingerie is great, man. You're right. Lingerie is awesome. I love lingerie. I buy all kinds of stuff for my wife just because I think she'd like. She'll just show up. I'm like, I don't know, check it out. I used to get. I'm almost ashamed to say this. I used to get, I still do actually, from some companies. I will get discounts. I'll get like up to like 25 to 50% discounts just for like mentioning like Lace Love, I think is one of them. Like if I mention something on my Instagram, they'll give me I'm one of the guys who like, I'm the very few guys that gets the discount for that. And then I'll go and buy something, or maybe I get a freebie and I'll give it to my wife. Right. Okay. You got me. That's my kink. That's it. I'm very vanilla in my kinks. Right. But here's the thing is like, is that even a kink? Is that a fetish? Does lingerie count as a fetish? Or you just have to show up buck naked and jump in bed and fucking that's it. And then, no kinks, right? Is that acceptable?
What is vanilla?
What is vanilla? Yeah. If I only have sex with her in the missionary position and but I want to turn her over and tap that ass, is that a kink? Am I allowed to do that, preacher man? Am I allowed to have reverse cowgirl? Is that a kink or is that like not allowed? I don't know, man. This is deviant. You're deviating. All I did was just turn around, flip it, grab, what is it? Smack it up, flip it, and rub it down. Oh no. People don't know what song that is. Do you know what song that is? Smack it up, flip it, rub it down. Oh no. It's Belle Biv DeVoe. You guys don't know that. Somebody knows that. Somebody in the chat knows that. Somebody knows that. Can a woman lust you and love you at the same time? Oh yes. Oh yes, she can. That's the sweet spot, my friend, is right there. Is when, like, I joke with my wife once in a while. Like, you know why? I said, you know why I like you? I said, because you're pretty much a good woman. I said, but you got a little bit of bad in you. And that's what I try to bring out every fucking time. And she's like, she laughs and giggles and stuff like that. Show me your tits. Okay. Religion is just another type of frame, no different from bad boy or country or a country. The goal ultimately is subversion, shit test, maintain. I can understand why you would think of it in those terms. It's a type of frame. Yeah. By the way, so I'm watching what's going on with, and we're going to move on to misogyny here in just a little while. Right?
Misogyny.
Because I got to get to this before we end. But I was so I'm kind of going over my notes for the whole thing with Jordan here and Nala, and it's like I said, I'm getting flashbacks of that post, the saving the best for last post I did on the Rational Male way back in 2013, right? So we're talking like 12 years ago. Well, more than that now. 13 years ago. And I'm like, this shit hasn't changed, right? The dynamic still hasn't changed. There's still no, guys are still dealing with this same kind of bullshit. And it's, you could say it's body count and you could say that, but what it is it's guys you're right. It's getting into that frame. You're in this frame. Like Jordan is stuck, man. That's the thing that kills me. Like I would love to talk to this dude. I could grab him aside and go, what the fuck are you doing? Here, read this book. I swear to God, if I could have if I could get Jordan to come to like an MOA immersive in Vegas, or like come to a Reignite meetup and talk to the dude one-on-one, I bet you any amount of money I could probably really turn his relationship around with her, because he's still thinking about it. Like she said, I would never marry a guy who had seen my pornography, had seen my work before. And here he is admitting that he'd already seen it. You're a liar, Nala Ray. You are lying. Oh, is it time for Lisa Sparks time? Okay, we need. Okay, I'm glad you put it up. That's okay. Put it up just for one. We're gonna before we ban him. Okay, thank you, Max. When did I leave my wife for Lisa Sparks? Here's what I want you to do, my evil minions. Wait, give me the vote. Give me the voice real quick.
Okay, my evil minions. I need you to do me a favor. Okay, so turn off.
They won't be able to tell what I'm saying. Here's what I need you to do. I need somebody with some AI skills to give me, it's got to be thumbnail size, right? I need a picture of myself and Lisa Sparks somewhere. It could be the AVNs or something like at the pool party at Cirque, somewhere, or Web Republic. I don't care. I need a shot. Do it with AI of me. I'm challenged. This is the challenge, okay? I want you to get, and the best one wins. I'll show you. You guys, you know what? I'll give you the top three. The top three, first, second, and third place. I need a shot of myself next to Lisa Sparks. Give it to me now, and every time this motherfucker comes on, we'll put that shit. We'll put that up really quick, okay? Give me a shot. I need that. I'm gonna have you guys do that. I was thinking about doing it myself. I go, it'd be more fun if I just had my audience do that. So that's the Lisa Sparks challenge. You have to put a picture of me with Lisa Sparks, preferably in Vegas, preferably at AVN, preferably at a pool party, preferably, I don't know. And it can't have nudity because I have to be able to show it on, God forbid, I have to be able to show in the gym. I have to be able to show it live on YouTube. Okay. So that's the only limitations. But you got to give me a Lisa Sparks and Rollo Tomasi thing. I will give you props if you can do that for me. What's your email? My email, you can find by the way, you can find all of my shit. All of my contact information is, if you click it, you see it says more on the description right there. You just click that. Everything is there. You'll get my email and everything else. Okay. What is this? Did the CGA chatter raise his fans to spam this chat? I don't know. I like CGA. Why is everybody fucking having a fucking cow, man? And I do like your avatar, by the way. I don't care. CGA and Rollo are the godfathers of the red pill. I've been around a lot longer than CGA, but I'm glad you think so. I like CGA. I'm not going to lie. Can a woman lessen a lifter? Okay, yeah, we already answered that. Religion, yes. Oh, the thing about religion, here's the thing is, I think that a lot of time, if you want to know what, I look at religion sometimes and remember how I can't take the red pill lenses off. So when I look at like these guys who are on the pulpit and they're going, man, you need to man up and you need to do this and you need to all that. You know what I'm seeing? Intrasexual competition. That's what I'm seeing. It's this guy telling you like rebuking these. I'm gonna rebuke you in the Lord's name and tell you what you ought to be doing. And here's what it is, you know. Rebuke you. I rebuke your spirit of lethargy. I rebuke your incelness. I rebuke you. I'm the red pill Jesus. I rebuke you in the name of the red pill. I rebuke you. But these guys, essentially, what you could certainly make a case for this, is that religion is mogging other guys. I religion mogged. I God mogged him. I God mogged that guy. That's all he's doing. He's up there like telling you all this stuff. And this is what a real man does. This is what, even Tony Robbins is like God mogs you, right? Although Tony Robbins is God to Tony Robbins, right? So he's God mogging you. Right?
What are you going to do about it? I'll suck his dick.
Got let go after 4 years as a creative director Monday. Any leads? Well, you can start with my Lisa Sparks picture. Creative director, where'd you get let go from? Dude, if I could, I hate it when people send me shit like that because you make me want to hire you. And I probably could use your services. It's just, I can't afford your services right now. Missy Elliott. Who's Missy Elliott? Missy Elliott.
Missy Elliott, the singer.
Look at her. Is that an aging porn star too? Is that a MILF star?
It's a rapper. Missy Elliott.
She's hot. Is she fat? She's kind of fat.
I guess you could call it fat.
I like
she did
black.
the Get Your Freak
people
On.
don't, like I don't. People go, what kind of, like, what's your type, Rollo? Hot. Do you like black? Yes. Do you like Asian? Yes. What about Indian? Yes. The only requirement is she's hot. But your wife is blonde and statuesque and thin and has goodish boobs. She's got my wife's a C cup, B cup. Yes. What about brunettes? Yes. Tattoos? Yes. It just has to be hot. You just have to be hot. That's all. That's why I do like black girls. I love black women. And oddly enough, they seem to like me too, especially when I'm in Miami for some reason. I know how I got that, but it's like, yes, daddy. What? Mocha. There's this one. What was that chick's name? There was this one girl who's like a half black girl. She was on Fresh and Fit, and I can't remember. I think her name was like Mocha or Caramel or something like that because she looked like that. I was like, damn. I'm happy to be single and not have messed up women's problems. Some of those guys have situationships that I wouldn't even put up with for 2 seconds. Okay. Because you're too cool for that. Well, it's good. So like whenever I get like a post like that or I get a super chat like that, you get your super chats in right now because we're coming up on the hour. But whenever I get a super chat like that, I'm torn between, is this serious? Can't tell if troll. I can't tell if serious. Because a lot of times, like whenever if I post a picture, here's what it is when I post a picture of a chick who's been on Access Vegas, or maybe it's Tiffany Fox, or maybe it's someone else. Like if I post a picture of a girl, that's not a hot chick. Those girls, or I know it is a thumbnail for Access Vegas. Those aren't hot chicks. Well, okay, they're fake. They're plastic. They have big lips and big tits. They have fake tits. Okay. Do you know what a real tit looks like? But most of the guys who've been raised on porn since infancy, you probably don't even know what a real boob looks like, right? And then I'm like, okay, well, those aren't real girls. I would never go out with any of those girls. Okay. Mike would just say this. Well, that's because you could never go out with these chicks, right? Which is true. But my response to this is always, show me a girl that you think is normal. Just send me one picture. Who do you think is normal? Just give me a normal chick. It doesn't have to be it should be a sundress. I don't care. Whatever. Send me they never fucking do. You never send me a normal girl picture, and she can't be Sydney Sweeney. And she can't be a celebrity. She just has to be a normal everyday. Because you know what a normal chick looks like? She's 170 pounds and she's 5'4". She looks like a fucking beach ball. That's the average weight and size and look of the average American woman. That's why you don't send it to me. Okay. You wouldn't pay attention otherwise. I would never go out with a girl. She's got fake tits. Oh, so would you go out with the chick who's 170 pounds and she's 5'4"? Well, no. Okay. Then send me a picture of who you would. I'm here to serve you. I just work here, man. Just tell me what you want. Just tell me what you like. This is a Wendy's, sir. Red pill buddies shaming, rebuking a man out of red pill rage phase just gets them to the healthy side of the red pill sooner. It does. You have to go through the anger phase. All right, I have to get to misogyny right now. I think we've talked this to death. I think you understand my position on all of this. Oh, this is the chick. She sang the song that you were singing earlier in the show. Oh, the Belle Biv DeVoe song? Smack it up, flip it, rub it down. That's Belle Biv DeVoe.
I guess, yeah. That.
She sang it.
She sang that part.
Oh, she sang that part from the Belle Biv DeVoe song. Okay, smack it up, flip it. I don't know why that stuck with me. I'm not like big Belle Biv DeVoe fan. Pantera, I can give you lyrics. I can't give you all the lyrics of that song. I have to show you this though, because we have a new documentary that's just come out. But before we do, there's some new data that has just come out according to the UK. One of the things that has always kind of like chapped my hide, right? Rustled my jimmies is whenever I'm talking about like the UK and they're spending 20 million British pounds on re-education of young boys so that they won't turn out to be Andrew Tate. We've gone through that. If you've watched this show, you already know it's like 3 shows back. It's talking about exactly this. Okay. So as you know, I've said this before, the UK treats Andrew Tate as if he is Osama bin Laden. If there is no boogeyman, no one gets paid. What are they getting paid? Well, apparently 20 million British pounds so that they can re-educate or educate in general young boys so they won't be misogynists. We don't want Andrew Tate's misogyny in this country. There's no room for his misogyny with our young boys because we don't want them to go and stab little girls like that one kid did in adolescence because, boy, was that ever a documentary. That was an eye-opener. We need to show that in all of our schools because that was statistically 100% a documented fact that these little boys will listen to Andrew Tate and they'll go and they'll grab a knife and they'll kill little girls. No, that's absolute fucking fabrication. But we're willing to spend 20 million British pounds just in case. Why? Because it's misogyny. And I kept saying, okay, well, those programs are meant to teach teachers to identify misogyny. Okay. We don't want little boys to be little misogynists or grow up to be big misogynists. Misogyny. What the fuck is misogyny?
Misogyny.
Okay. Well, guess what? We now have a definition of what makes a little boy a misogynist. This just in. To what extent, do Gen Z men hold multiple potentially misogynist views, and how does that compare to older generations of men? Okay. So if you hold 0 out of 12 of these views, then you are, good luck, you are not a misogynist. I don't know if you can read this, so I got to pull up the bigger version of this. Hang on. Where do I have those? Okay, misogyny. Here we go. There it is. Oops. Wait a minute. Here we go. Oh, that's not the right one here. Hold on. This is the overview. So this is what was produced by, it's YouGov from the UK. So the UK has finally decided that they're going to let us all in on what is misogyny. So here's the first one. These are the 12 deadly sins of misogyny.
Misogyny.
Okay. Figures show how many of 12 potential misogyny markers, with an asterisk next to it, generations of men hold. Okay, so Article 1, believe women's gains over the last 25 years have been bad for men. So if you think those gains, whatever the fuck those gains are, not just nebulous, ambiguous gains, if you think that those are bad for men,
misogyny.
Okay. Believe women currently have things better than men in British society.
Misogyny.
Believe the purpose of feminism is to put men down.
Misogyny.
Isn't it? Isn't it? Okay. Believe the large majority of heterosexual women only want to date the most physically attractive 20% of men.
Misogyny.
No, it's not the most physically attractive, my friend. It's a combination of factors. And this, by the way, is one of the reasons why we have to keep. Here, let me put this back. Pull this off of here real quick so you can see me. I'm reading from that chart real quick. Okay. No, that's the 80-20 or the 80-24.5% rule. You got it wrong. If that's what your criteria for misogyny is,
misogyny,
you're wrong.
No, you're wrong.
Yes. You're wrong. That has nothing to, I brought this up when that shit came down with last year when it was, I remember people were asking me questions, Rollo, what's the red pill? What's this 80-20 stuff? And I have to say, because in adolescence, the kid says, that means that, 20% of guys are fucking 80% of the women. Like, God, not again. No, 100% of women are interested in the top 4.5% of guys, really. 80% of women deem men, those 100% of women deem 80% of men to be unattractive. That's what the studies from Dr. David Buss, everybody drink, put forth in his book, his great book, Men Behaving Badly, that everybody loved when it first came out. And now the legacy is here. Now you're going to have to clean up your fucking mess. David Buss. 80% of men are, according to multiple studies, multiple online, dating sites, dating apps. Okay. Again, when the red pill says average women don't want to get with average men, this is where we're drawing a lot of those conclusions, a lot of that speculation from. Okay. I didn't say it was set in stone, but boy, it's a pretty good correlation here. 80% of women find men unattractive, or 80% of men are unattractive according to women, to 100% of women. Does that mean that 20% of men are attractive? No, it just means they are not unattractive. If you are struggling with the 80-20 rule, here the fuck it is. Mark this, okay? 80% of men are unattractive to 100% of women. According to Dr. David Buss, according to Steve Stewart Williams, according to Quillette, according to everyone who has published these stats since, 2018, 2019? So does that mean that 20% of guys are attractive? No, it means they might do. They might be, if they have value added, they might be. And I'm not even going to say 20%. Because only 4.5%, according to these data, only 4.5% of women find that man attractive enough to initiate a conversation with that guy. So what does that leave? That means 15.5% of men are kind of like in the, he might do. If he put on deodorant and took a shower and had some, and he's funny, told a good joke, he was nice and kind, according to Scott Galloway. Those guys are the ones that are fucked, actually, not the 80%. The 80%ers, at least At least you're like, okay, I got a lot of work to do. The guys in the 15%, those are the guys who are just trying to figure shit out, 15 to 15.5%. And then there's the 4.5%ers that are going to get laid in spite of themselves. That's the dynamic. That's if you're going to call it the 80-20 rule, that's the rule. It is not, as has been reported by YouGov, it is not believe the large majority of heterosexual women only want to date the most physically attractive 20% of men. No, it's not. Please go look at that study from Dr. David Buss. The end. Okay, next one down. Believe most heterosexual women only want to date men of higher social status.
Misogyny.
Do they not? Do they not? Even on the UK, go look at what Good Morning UK. Go look at any, I'm serious, just limit your search to the UK. I guarantee you will find women who are frustrated with the dating market and the marriage market and the gender gap and all men's loneliness epidemic and all this shit. And you know what they'll say? Men need to do better. How do they need to do better? Because they are attracted to men of higher social fucking status. That's why. So you're misogynist? Guess what? All those women who are saying exactly the same thing, go talk to them about their innate sexism and misogyny. Go, hey man, arrest that woman. get the bobbies out there to arrest her from her domicile. Get her. The chick that mentions that in the UK on whatever morning show it is, arrest her. That's misogyny according to YouGov. Got it? Good. Okay. Believe. A second. Where's the next one? I'm losing myself here. Let's see. Here we go. Here we go. Believe that heterosexual women are biologically hardwired to be attracted to more aggressive, dominant men. How is that a misogyny? How is that misogyny? How? So you're saying that they aren't attractive, and that if I have that belief, then I'm a misogynist because who are you going to believe? Me or your lying eyes? Like, what? This is the criteria. This is the criteria. Okay. Believe women should dress in a way their partner finds attractive. If that's the case, then women who are dressing their men or who are count as the majority or the major consumers of certainly the UK and certainly the United States, if they're buying clothes for their men, if there is a commercial that is showing that women need to buy and dress their husbands, or hey, wouldn't your husband look good in this? Guess what? You're a misandrist, but like you're a misogynist because you believe that that person should be buying clothes for you. It should be wearing those particular clothes. Now I know what they're getting at. Well, you shouldn't wear those yoga pants. If I'm telling you that, it's because you're fat. It's not because I think that guys are going to come after you. It's because you're fat. You can't like. Yoga pants are a privilege and not a right. Okay. That's just how it works. Dress in a way that their partner finds attractive. Okay. Believes if a man goes on a date with a woman and pays for dinner and drinks, it is fair for him to expect sex.
Misogyny.
I can't think of too many. Even incels don't even think this. But here's the other thing is if they pay for it, if they're paying for the whole thing, that's called prostitution. Is that a misogynist way of thinking about things? Well, is it any more misogynist to think that a guy should keep paying for stuff and going out and wasting his time? Okay. And I don't even think that that's even that big a deal. Okay. So, the next one. Believe it is wrong for a woman to have lots of sexual partners, but it is not wrong for men to do so.
Misogyny.
That is just a double standard. That's not a belief. That's observing a dynamic. That's observing an empirical observation is what that is. Yes. Guess what? Reality has double standards. Reality is sexist. That's the way it works. If I hold that belief, does that make me a misogynist? Does that mean I hate women because I see this and I go, you know what? When women because guess what? Men and women are fucking different. Well, if he has a lot of partners, then she should have a lot of partners. Well, if that's the case, then fucking Jordan, who's married to Nala, should either expect hot fucking porn monkey sex from her, or he should be able to go and have a bunch of fucking sex with whoever the fuck he wants to, come back to the marriage, and she should be A-okay with that. Because that's the reverse of that double standard. But I can't even say that. You can't even watch that. You can't watch this show in the UK and hear me say those words without me being
Misogyny.
There you go. Where's the next one? Oh, believe it can be a woman's fault if she is sexually assaulted in some circumstances. A woman's fault. So now we're assigning, so this is just the victim blaming thing, okay? Roosh got into a lot of trouble with this, man, back in the day. Roosh, you can't even do a thought experiment. Like I remember he was saying, maybe we should legalize grape on private property. And it was just a thought experiment. And then everybody started calling him a rape apologist and all this other shit, right? Because of that. And he's like, no, hear me out. This is why. Because if that woman makes a choice to go home with that guy and go, go do whatever. If she makes the choice to go and put herself into that situation, should that actually, maybe it's sexual assault, but should it be a better, or should it be a different charge than it would be like, say, a rape, right? How are we going to define that? See, what happens is when we talk about like misogynist views, okay, is it the actual view itself, or is it the fact that somebody's actually talking about these particular dynamics, or these articles? What are these? The potential misogyny these misogyny markers. So if I have I can't get behind all of these, but let's just say I get behind 10 of them, I guess I'm a misogynist. Let's see. Have a favorable view of Andrew Tate.
Misogyny.
If you have a favorable view of Andrew Tate, that is literally on the list. If you like Osama bin Laden, it's
misogyny.
Yes. And then the last one is have a negative opinion of women. I can't have a negative opinion of women. If women have a negative opinion of men, that's just, we're just telling it like it is, girl. If I can't have a negative opinion, right? That's misogyny. Okay, so now we have a clear, set of 12 markers for it. Let's see. I want to throw out these ones here too. Where'd it go? These were the more detailed ones. Believe heterosexual women are biologically hardwired to be attractive to more aggressive men and dominant men. See, so this is by demographic here. Consider misandry to be very widespread. If you think misandry is widespread, you are
misogyny.
Have a negative opinion of women. So essentially, if you believe that women aren't above reproach, it's
misogyny.
Believe if a man goes on a date with a woman and pays for it, then he can expect sex. Okay, I don't think there's too many people that actually believe that. But if you think that that's misogyny, how is that belief a form of hate? Okay, next one. See aggression as a positive trait. It's
misogyny.
Then why do women like dark triad guys? Then why are women? Then explain hybristophilia. The very fact that I could even quote you what hybristophilia is means I'm a misogynist. Okay? Believe it is wrong for a woman to have lots of sexual partners, but don't say the same for men. Okay? So here's the thing. The conversation I just had where I was talking about how women have a bunch of sexual partners, and we're talking about body count and the concern that guys might have with a woman who has a better body. Now, I don't know what Jordan's body count is. I imagine it's probably lower than Nala. I'm going out on a limb here, okay? I know certain porn stars who are in the triple digits, okay? I didn't say they're bad persons. I just said they just have those things. I said we every time me and Mike go on Access Vegas and we bring up this topic, we say, hey, look, I'm sure you go to church on Sundays, pay your taxes, and help your neighbor out with their garbage, right? You could be a motherfucking Teresa, right? But you still have those many bodies. Now, if I don't mention, well, it's not okay for a woman to have that. But you know what? It's also not okay for a guy. If I don't mention guys in the same fucking breath as that, then I'm a misogynist. This is ludicrous. Because what happens is it stifles conversation. The conversation that's been happening in the red pill since, well, in my case, 2002. We're not allowed to talk to. You want to know why I named myself Raul Tomasi? It's exactly this. Because I had to be careful. I had to use a pseudonym. Because I didn't show my face up until 2017. I had to be careful. Why? Because as far back as then, I was concerned with exactly what's going on in the UK right now. You can't have these conversations. They're basically saying you can't talk about this. You will be ostracized. It is that you are a misogynist if you talk about these things. Let me see if I can read this. Believe the majority of heterosexual women want to date the most physically attractive 20%. Got that. See being emotionally reserved as a positive trait. So if you are stoic in any way, shape, or form, guess what? You're a misogynist. If you think reserving your emotions. Now, here's the thing. Men and women do not process emotions the same way. We do not have the same hardware in our brains. Men process emotion, particularly negative emotions, much different than women. This is a biological, well-studied fact in Evo Bio and just fucking science in fucking general. But guess what? Any guy who studies that in any sort of measured empirical form, you're a misogynist for not believing that men and women our brains are exactly the same. They're carbon copies of each other. You're a misogynist. Fuck you. This is what they're basing the teaching on. This is what they're basing the kids' education on. I'll put this other one up. They say they have been personally impacted by misandry. So if you think that you are the victim of misandry, guess what? You're a misogynist too. Believes most heterosexual women only want to date men of high social status. Who are you going to believe, me or your lying eyes? Believe when a woman on a date, a man should pay for the woman. Believe when on a date, the man should pay for a woman. So ladies, guess what? If you think the man should pay for you for a date, guess what? You're a misogynist. Arrest that woman, English bobbies. Whatever. Are they called bobbies now? Arrest that woman. She believes that guy should step up and pay for that date. What about the pastors who are saying, men, you need to step up and you shouldn't be dating this woman if you can't afford to take her out on a date and take her to dinner? Guess what? I guess you're a misogynist. You're all dirty misogynists. See dominance as a positive trait. Yes, it is a positive trait. It can be a positive trait because you're thinking in terms of hierarchies. Remember what we said. Men organize societies in hierarchies. Women organize societies in the round. They organize it in egalitarian collectives, communities. Think it's very important for a man to be masculine. If you think it is very important for a man to, ladies and men, if you think it is important for men to be masculine, you're a misogynist. Those are markers for misogyny. If that thought, it's like fucking, what is it? A Minority Report. If that thought comes in and send the police to go get him, or whoever they are, the secret police to go pick those guys, send the Gestapo to go get that guy before he commits a crime. Now, why am I getting into this before the video? Because we've got a new documentary out. Bravo. It's called Lost Boys, Violent Men, or Hostile Men, Violent Men. I'll dig it up. I'm going to just show you some clips. I don't even know who this guy is, but apparently he's had his views on incels change because the guy wanted to do a documentary on incels and raising awareness to the danger, the violent danger of them, because God knows the UK has spent 20,000 or 20 million British pounds on this. And our good friend, Will Costello, makes a cameo appearance in this video. So I figured I would go and show this one to you real quick. I got a couple of these things. Lost Boys, where is it? Lost Boys, Deadly Men. That's what it's new. I don't know if it's on Netflix or where you can find this right now. So bear with me while I put this up. This is let's see, is this the one I saw? That's it. Okay, so this is the one with Will Costello in it. This is the longer one. So here we go. I'll show you this one first.
Fear of incels come from? Why am I so worried?
I think the moral panic is kind of reaching a fever pitch at the moment in response to the success of the television program, the Netflix show Adolescence.
The one you had, the one they used your studies as an inspiration for? Oh, yes, I got receipts.
The wildly successful drama which told the story of a 13-year-old incel killing a female classmate who had mocked him was designed to start a conversation about growing misogyny in young men. But the fictional program caused some viewers to become confused and concerned.
Because when they started going on about like,
emojis and what it actually means and this and that. I'll be the first one to look at my dad who's like, why are you sending all these weird little pictures of your text film? Like, he doesn't know what emojis mean. Apparently, neither do I.
It was not attempting to be a precise and literal portrayal of incels, but in Westminster and the mainstream media, it was treated as a piece of factual television.
The Minister and many colleagues in this place will be aware of the groundbreaking new Netflix programme called Adolescence.
It highlights online male radicalisation and violence against girls. The creators of the show are calling for screenings in Parliament and schools to spark change.
So it was disconcerting for me as a researcher to see politicians kind of putting the TV show front and center in their policy discussions. But policy should be based around sober research rather than performance art, no matter how emotionally compelling that performance art is.
Then maybe you should research who's funding your fucking research in the first place. Swansea University and the CCE. What is Rollo talking about? I've said this before. I will say it one more time. This is the studies that these guys did. I've gone over this before a million times. This is not, again, I'm not trying to bash Will on this because Will is trying to like backpedal off of this. But you brought it on yourself, man. This is your mess. You get to clean this shit up. And how do I know that? Because as much as Will would like you to think that it is his study or that he was the lead on this, by the way, he got his doctorate as a result. This was his doctoral thesis project. He got his doctorate, and William Buss, I should say not William Buss, but the Buss Institute or whoever he was in Texas, put their rubber stamp this whole thing. Okay. It was a study on incels. They paid the incels. They did not tell them where the funding was come from, because if they had, those guys might have had a second thought about it. Okay. It was the survey was spread through incels.co, which is a very limited community. It's not like this global thing. It's just like within this one form. Okay. So they'll say, well, we need to go where the incels are. Okay. I got it. But let's look at the background and let's look at who was actually doing this. He was an assistant researcher on this. He was not the lead. I can show you right now how he's not the lead because I did a little bit of homework. Where did we go? All right. The guy who was the lead is this dude right here. This is Joe Whitaker. Joe Whitaker is the lead on this research. Okay. Well, who the fuck is Joe Whitaker? I'm glad you asked. Dr. Joe Whitaker is the program director at cyber threats at Swansea University and the author of the largest ever study into incels by the Commission for Countering Extremism. That is the CCE, the Commission for Countering Extremism. Okay. This is his background. This is his pedigree right here. Joe is a program director for the cyber threats at Swansea University. His PhD analyzed the online behaviors of Islamic State terrorists in the U.S. from the years 2012 to 2018. Conducted as a joint degree with Swansea University and Leiden University. He has also researched how social media platforms recommend systems promote and amplify extreme far-right content. Does this sound like an unbiased researcher at all? Does this sound like somebody who is just saying, you know what, it is what it is. We'll try to be as judicious as we possibly can here, as well as publishing topics as a counter narratives and extremist video games. Okay, areas of expertise: terrorists and extremists how they use the internet, filter bubbles and terrorism, propaganda, countering violent extremism, terror financing, video games and extremism. Okay, now we know who the project lead was on this incel database, on this incel survey that everybody keeps coming back to over again. I remember I was telling you guys about data laundering. We have data laundered this so much that Will has to back up off of this now because it has created such a political moral panic in the UK after Adolescence came out, courtesy of the CCE. How do we know that? Well, we'll get back to that in just a moment. Let's let the rest of this play.
Inaccuracies with adolescents.
This idea of parents unwittingly raising a monster who spends too much time on their computer and is radicalized by what they see on their computer, that just hasn't really happened.
This change.
Then why was the guy who was the project lead an expert in counterterrorism, a part of the CCE. Why? Does that not send up any kind of fucking red flags that this is definitely not an unbiased research at all? I mean, like I got questions, but I also have answers
Just
too.
nothing about Davison's horrific actions. But if we want to stop young people from getting involved in hateful ideologies, how effective can we be if we don't have a proper understanding of what incels and other misogynistic groups actually are?
That's because if there is no boogeyman, no one gets paid. Look at this again. So here's Joe Whitaker's pedigree. As I said before, from 2012 to 2018, you conducted joint with university there was Islamic State terrorism. Guess what? When Islamic State terrorism died off, we need another fucking boogeyman so we get the fucking paycheck. Guess who got to be the boogeyman? Incels. Well, and Andrew Tate. Andrew Tate's Osama bin Laden. Incels are the boogeyman. They needed a boogeyman, and whether or not whether or not Will Costello, that was his intent or it wasn't his intent, the fact of the matter is that is what inspired this shit. How do I know that? I'm going to show you the stats. I got one more video for you before I show you the stats. Hang on. And that is that this one? There we go.
Male role models at home and at school is a recurring theme when we talk about violent young men.
Only 1 in 4 teachers in our schools are men. Just 1 in 7 in nursery and primary school.
Now, I want more male teachers, guiding, teaching, leading the boys in our classrooms.
What's the thinking behind that?
The theory goes really that these boys are going to respond better to some masculine figures within the classroom. The research around this, I think, shows us that it's a bit of a flawed strategy. There was one study that said that about a third of students would say their parents are a main role model. And then they list other people, footballers, actors like yourself, celebrities, people that they say, these are our role models. Teachers, 2.4% of students said they saw teachers as role models. And I think that if we're going to look for big solutions, it's a bit of a red herring going down this approach, I think.
Okay, so they'll still say we need male teachers, but we don't need that many. We need the right male teachers. We need the guys who are going to be on board with what we think is misogyny. Right now, let's get back to the study real quick because I wanted to point this out. I started looking into this. I when I first became kind of suspicious of the actual methodology of the survey back in, when was it, 2021? I got run up the flagpole from of all people, not so erudite. I know now why, but that's neither here nor there. Here's where we're at. This is these are the main co-authored outputs. Where's the other one? Okay, we'll go with this one first. Here we go. Let's do this one. These are the main co-authored outputs here for the CCE. Okay, predicting harm amongst incels. They were looking for this. This was the outcome they were looking for. They wanted to find violence. Countering. By the way, the CCE is not unlike Imran Ahmed's. Countering online hate. He was the guy that was sat across from me from when I was on Dr. Phil, who is, by the way, now deported, I think. They kicked him out. But these are technically NGOs that work for the government. In this case, it's the UK. It was a government-funded survey with the express intent that they would, like the CCE would get the very first, data sets. They were the one, before they could even interpret it, before they could publish, the CCE got the data. That's why. So they were the ones that said, we'll pay for it. We'll give you the money, because they were paying the participants. We'll give you the money for this. But we want the results before anybody else. So guess what? Now you got to clean up your mess. Will, here's the mess you had to clean up. Okay, so here we go. Authors: Joe Whitaker, William Costello, and Andrew G. Thomas. Those are the guys. Now, the lead on this is Joe Whitaker, not William Costello. I found that out recently. Uses a survey of self-identified incels to model which factors predict harmful attitudes and beliefs. They're predicting. This is what they're looking for, okay? And they got it. Even though they didn't get it, all that matters is that the government thinks that there is. That's why they're spending $20 million on 20 million pounds on all this shit. All right? Guess what? Mission accomplished. Focusing on 3 domains: mental health, adherence to incel ideology, and social networking within the community. Okay, first of all, what's incel ideology is what I want to. Key findings: mental health problems and strength in ideological comment are stronger predictors of harmful views than the amount of time spent networking on incel forums. Policy implications. Intervention should prioritize mental health support and ideological challenges rather than treating online network alone as the main risk driver. What have we seen just recently? We've now to thwart the evil misogynists, and we know now that we know what misogynists are because we have that 12 marker list of all that stuff. Now that we know what those evil misogynists look like, and they all agree, their leader is foaming at the mouth at Osama bin Laden, Andrew Tate, which they couldn't name anybody else. But now, guess what? Not only does the UK, Australia, and Canada are all united in banning Twitter to make sure that online misogyny isn't spread any further. Granted, Blue Sky's not on that list, but Twitter, yes, we're gonna cut off your Twitter in those countries. Or like say tried to. I don't think they succeeded, but at least they tried to. They want to literally limit your ability to get information and literally limit your ability to, for free speech. Right? The United States is like the last holdout in all of this, but it's not even that. It's communication. They want to cut off communication because they think you're a misogynist. If you agree with Andrew Tate, if you think that men and women should both pay for dates, don't think they should both pay for dates, guess what? We're going to take away your fucking Twitter. And worse than that, now what we're going to do is we're going to allocate 20 million British pounds so that the UK school system can re-educate them, re-educate the boys so they don't turn into misogynists. And we're going to teach teachers how to look for those markers and look for those signs. Like that's where all this money's going, right? Shit, they wanted more from Starmer. So let's keep going. Let's see. Policy implications. Got that already. Now, peer-reviewed article, a model of harmful attitudes and beliefs amongst involuntary celibates, often referred to the dual pathway hypothesis of incel harm. Authors William Costello, Joe Whitaker. Now, this is when William steps up, okay? And Andrew Thomas builds a statistical model of psychological distress, endorsement of incel ideology, and online networking. Each relate to misogyny, support for violence, and the harmful beliefs. Identities of a particularly high-risk group, externalizers, who report feelings of more violent or feeling more violent after time on forums. This is what they were looking for. Okay. Again, concludes that their mental health issues and ideological commitments are central. Networking alone is not sufficient to explain the harm. So even if they say, well, the results say that these guys are actually not as dangerous as we thought they were, but we're looking in networking that the part of networking alone isn't sufficient to explain the potential for harm. That's how you get the 13-year-old boy with a knife. Accessible summary blog, Understanding Incels, Psychology, Ideology, and Networking. This is Vok. I don't know where this is. Co-authored by Whitaker, Costello, and Thomas. As a summary of the above work, emphasizes that incel radicalization is complex, multi-causal, with mental health, ideology, and networking mutually reinforcing for some individuals. So that's these are the co-authored outputs. Again, this is drawn from Perplexity. I'm just going to let you guys know that. This is where I picked this up. Here's the next one. Study commissioned by the CCE. This is the commission. This is the NGO, the anti-terrorism NGO, which is where did it go? There we go. Co-authored, and author of the largest study. Okay, Commission for Countering Extremism. That's what it was. Here we go. Publicly available material on the Whitaker, Costello, Thomas Incel project does not spell out the contractual step and the commissioning. But some key points are clear. One, these are bullet points. The work was run as a commissioned research project for the UK research project commissioned by the, commissioned research project for the UK Commission for Countering Extremism, okay? Focused on predicting harm amongst incels. The CCE asked Swansea University, which is SUR, there's Zurich team, that stands for something, I forget, to design and carry out an empirical study of incels' mental ideology and networking with the explicit aim of informing UK counter-extremism and safeguarding policy. There it is, black and fucking white. That's it. That's your fucking smoking gun right there. This is what the intent was. So when this guy is backpedaling, and tell me I'm wrong. Please tell me I'm wrong. When this guy's backpedaling from all this shit, and I can't believe Frankenstein's monster got out into the wild, and now young boys are stabbing little girls, and adolescence is a thing, and this whole is my understanding of incels, is that actually wrong? Yes, it is. But you know why you think it's wrong? It's because of exactly the guy you're sitting right there in front of you. It's because this dude let the fucking genie out of the goddamn bottle, man. It's because he made a deal with the devil, and the devil doesn't care whether the incels are dangerous or not. They're dangerous. Here's the report. We're going with it. You just saw it on the fucking House of Commons or wherever the fuck that is. You just saw them doing it right there. Black and white. Got it. What was it? Let's see. Designed to carry out empirical studies of incels' mental health ideology and in networking with the explicit aim of informing the UK counter-extremism and safeguarding policies. Guess what? Here we are. And here we are. Swansea University acted as the lead academic contractor. They designed the survey, secured ethical approval through Swansea, collected and analyzed the data, and then delivered the technical report recommendations back to the CCE. These reports were then published on the UK government site as the CCE commissioned study and simultaneously hosted Swansea's research repository and press releases. They did the study for the CCE. This wasn't through David Buss's, it wasn't something through Bus Labs. He put his stamp of approval on it. It was done for the government. And now you have this fucking moral panic. And guess what? And in some ways, I almost feel bad for Will. I do, because this probably got away from him. All this shit got away from him. You think they're really, incels are really harmless. There's been no violence. There's far more, knife stabbings of immigrants than there are of, little white kids killing little white girls, right? Doesn't matter. We already allocated $20 million to do it. We're going to, we have to fight against that evil boogeyman, Andrew Tate. You gave them what they needed. And now you inherit the whirlwind. You built Frankenstein. Now Frankenstein is destroying the village. Congratulations. I don't care how much you apologize for. Maybe you didn't. Maybe you did. I don't know. But I will tell you this right now. You did it for the CCE. Just fucking cop to it. Admit it. In fact, if it wasn't for me and Bex, the other girl, then I did some research on this, like way back when I did the very first video about this. If it wasn't for us like mentioning it, you would never have known. And by the way, none of the participants in the survey knew that it was funded by the CCE. They did not disclose that before you took this, like all the people from incels.co. They did not disclose that. I think that might have like balanced or biased their turnout for this. Okay. And by the way, these outputs were then published to the UK government site as the CCE commission study and simultaneously hosted at Swansea's University. So they got it before they could even give the conclusion. It's already up on CCE site. The commissioning frame as described in the government and Swansea summaries emphasize understanding of risk factors of harmful attitudes and beliefs among incels, distinguishing mental health, ideological and networking pathways to harm, and producing policy relevant recommendations. I guess that's where the 20 million came from on whether incels should be treated primarily through counterterrorism, counter-extremism, or mental health safeguarding channels. I guess we know what the result of that was now. Beyond that high-level picture, CCE funder Commissioner Swansea, as the research contractor, UT Austin, there's David Buss's lab right there, collaborating institution, the detailed procurement mechanics, tender documents, budget lines, exact call text are not laid out in the open summaries. I wonder why. Last one. This is by the way, this is Whitaker's background here. Started as a PhD in criminology so we're already looking for criminals. So criminology at Swansea University, 2016. This is Whitaker's extended pedigree, with Leiden University focusing on online radicalization and the Islamic State in the United States. Submitted his thesis in early 2020, then worked as a tutor and was appointed lecturer in the summer of 2020. Now, this is a year before the actual event. Promoted to senior lecturer in 2023, has been affiliated as a research fellow with the Internal Center for Countering Terrorism. This is another one, ICCT, working on terrorist and extremist use of the internet. It sounds to me like they were looking for incels to be fucking terrorists. Is it any shock that they discovered, or that the popular consensus is this now? He has a PhD in criminology and a PhD in online radicalization, jointly undertaken in 2016 and 2019. An MA, a master's degree in international politics, Middle East distinction, University of Hull, BA in politics and philosophy, public and policy engagement, involved in TASM, terrorism and social media conferences hosted by Swansea University, focusing on extremism, terrorism, or terrorists' use of social media in the 21st century. His stated aim is both the advance academic knowledge to inform the stakeholders such as government. His stated aim in both to advance academic knowledge and to inform stakeholders such as government, law enforcement, tech companies, and practitioners on the responding to online extremism. There it is, smoking gun, boom, bye-bye. Maybe you didn't build Frankenstein, or maybe you built Frankenstein. You didn't want Frankenstein to get out, but you fucking helped Dr. fucking Frankenstein build the Frankenstein monster. Sorry, boy, do I ever love perplexity.
Are you not entertained? Are you not entertained?
Yes. That's it. Sorry, Will. Goodbye. No, I'm not offering any fucking apologies. You can go fuck yourself. This is this. You got to clean up your mess now. Go on whatever documentary you have to do it and backpedal and talk about all this stuff. But you made a deal with the fucking devil and you knew you were doing it at the time. You wanted that fucking degree, man. And I don't blame you. I would want a doctorate too. If it's that easy, it's a slam dunk. Fuck, I'd do it. Why not? That's why. It's funny because I originally got involved in this because I just thought his fucking methodology was shitty. And now it comes down, it's like, now that we know who the actors are, like now I know who Diverting Hate is, NGO. Now I know who Progressive Victory is. Now I know who the CCE is. I forget Imran Ahmed. Now I know who Imran Ahmed is. Now I know who Swansea, the CCE is, right? He's not even the lead. It's fucking Whitaker is the lead, who is the guy who's doing the witch hunt. He's looking for this. And it goes back to the CECE and the government websites before they can even before they publish anywhere else. You did it for the government. And you didn't tell the people who were in the survey. That's the facts right there. So, and people are going to say, well, Rollo, you're really adamant at defending incels. No, I don't think incels I think incels need to fucking get off their ass. And I'm not like an incel like supporter or endorser or anything like that. But I also don't think they're fucking terrorists. And I'm not a terrorist. And Kyle's not a terrorist. And, are you a terrorist? And and Mike Sartain is not a terrorist. And as hard as it is to get around this, like Myron Gaines is not a terrorist. We are not fucking terrorists, right? but your buddy who wanted to find this guy Whitaker is just this side of Imran Ahmed. They're looking for this shit. And you know why they're looking for this shit? Because they get paid, because their foundations keep going. CCE gets to keep going, keeps getting funded because they found what they were looking for, even if they didn't find it. And now you're the guy who has to be the patsy, Will. Sorry. I'm sorry that happened to you. I'm sorry if you felt like, he had to go on there and explain. He's like sitting there like sheepish the whole time. And by the way, Luis Perry, fuck you too. Fuck you, all you guys, for trying to, for cleaning up this guy, or sweep behind this guy. He made the fucking deal. Whitaker made the fucking deal. Thomas made the fucking deal. And now here we are. Now we have the UK wanting to implement fucking free. They want to, dump Twitter. They want to limit Twitter. Australia, limit Twitter. From adolescence, from the entertainment show, from the show that they made that happened to drop the name of Andrew Tate. All because of that. Well, the study said that incels aren't actually as dangerous as we think they are, and this is all bullshit. Well, then why aren't you on the why am I the one that's here on my show shouting this from the fucking rooftops? Why isn't it you that's shouting from the rooftops? I'm like, I don't have a doctor in front of I don't have a DR in front of my fucking name. Why are you out there doing it? He said, sorry, we fucked up. Well, why do I think that? Here's that. Where's that thing? I got one. Here's the last video. It's just a summation. Where'd it go?
You were aware that Jake wasn't, strictly speaking, an incel?
I didn't know anything about incel until it was in the papers after the shootings.
Do you not think it's important that if we have politicians, some academics, and the media all calling Jake an incel when he probably wasn't, that we need to be able to make clear distinctions between what is and isn't an incel if we're going to come up with some solutions?
Politicians have got to know what's broken to be able to fix it, don't they?
Yes, they do. And I'll tell you how they don't do that, with government commissioned surveys that lead them to believe that this is in some way an endemic, a pandemic. Incels are out there. They're under every fucking rock. We have to teach our boys not to be misogynists. I mean, the UK government's already feminist to begin with. So what are you going to do, Will? What are you going to do about it? You going to go cry to Mike Sartain again? Don't go cry to Mike. And again, I have to I have a little bit of sympathy for Will after this. You're not getting an apology out of me. Go fuck yourself for that. But you built Frankenstein's monster, and that is the UK government's response to this incel epidemic, courtesy of the CCE funded UK government published survey research that you did, the largest incel research ever done, the only incel research ever done on the on incels.com, on just the populations of incels.com. And then now we say, oh, it's really not as bad that, this is really not happening. Well, they think it is. And you helped them do it. So, you can clean up you shit the bed, you get to go fucking clean it up, man. I can't do it. I would love to. I'm trying to. Actually, I am trying to help you clean. I'm trying to help you clean this shit up. But the problem is like at least fucking cop to it. At least own it, or call out Whitaker, for fuck's sake. That's what the dude was. That they were looking for. They wanted this. Whitaker sure as shit did. He's already working for these guys, man. That was like every fucking arrow points back to this is what they were looking for. It's what is it? Forget what's harking. Hypothesizing after the results are known. Right? Oh, well, this must be. Well, here's the thing: is that it's like now you're dealing with the social output of this, social outcome of this. You're in a documentary trying to what do you have to say for yourself? And the guy's just on the dude, the bald guy, forgets his name. He's asking you just straight up, honestly, why do I think this? Let me see if I can put that out. Let me see if I can grab that quote one more time.
Fear
of incels come from? Why am I so worried?
I think the moral panic is kind of reaching a fever pitch at the moment in response to the success of the television program, the Netflix show Adolescence.
The wildly successful...
Okay, we know that. Thank you. Okay, we got to those. There we go. Okay, let me get back to where Will was. Okay.
It was disconcerting for me as a researcher to see politicians kind of putting the TV show front and center in their policy discussions, but policy should be based around sober research rather than performance art, no matter how emotionally compelling that performance art is.
So you shouldn't be surprised by this. I know that's probably part of your backpedaling, but you shouldn't be surprised by this because you knew where the information went. You knew who was a project lead. You know who Joe Whitaker was. You know he's funny. You know what his background is. I can't imagine you don't. He's just some guy just walks in. I don't know who Joe Whitaker was, but no, you know this. Well, if you didn't then, you sure as fuck know now. So I'm being harsh on Will Costello because I mean a lot of stuff Will says is not half bad. I mean he's not any worse than like Steve Stewart Williams or any of these other guys. But the fact of the matter is you got in bed with the devil. You got in bed with the CCE. You got in bed with the UK government, which were looking for this. That's how you get adolescents. That's how you get policy. You want to talk about, this moral panic is at a fever pitch. Yeah, because the Frankenstein monster of Andrew Tate is destroying the village. It's not, but they want, if there is no boogeyman, no one gets paid. Congratulations, you built the boogeyman. Whether you knew you were or not is anybody's call.
Inaccuracies with adolescents.
This idea of parents unwittingly raising a monster who spends too much time on their computer and is radicalized by what they see on their computer, that just hasn't really happened.
Okay, so that was it. Okay, great. Why are you not going on fucking Chris Williamson's show and saying the same thing? Why are you not going out there and raising bloody hell over this shit? I would think you'd be probably wanting to be like the biggest advocate for incels there is, especially in light of all this shit. The thing is you made a deal with the devil and you don't want people to get, for all I know, I'm the only one who's calling this guy out. That's why he has such a problem with me. You know, I Mike Sartain really wants to do a show with him, and I hope he does. So don't let my opinion of all this whole situation like stop you from having an interview or whatever with Mike. Right? Please do. I mean, you want me there? Fine, that's great. But all I'm going to do is point out exactly point by fucking point here. Clean up your mess. If I'm not saying it was like he was intentionally doing it. Maybe it wasn't even him. It was Joe Whitaker that was actually the one who he went hunting and he found what he was hunting for, and it was taken the wrong way. And so now you have the incel report, whatever it is, like for the UK. And remember, this was back in 2023. I think it was 2023. You know, and then on top of that, when everybody was critical about it, myself and Bex included, it's like you go to not so erudite to cover you because you don't want to be implicated in like trying to push back on it. Why? Why would you go to her of all people? That's the other thing that gets me. Still trying to figure that one out. And yes, I have the receipts for that as well. You don't want me to put those up. I will if I have to, but I'm not. It doesn't make any difference at this point. It's kind of water under the bridge. But the thing is like you've got people running cover for you you fucked up. Okay. Like own that you fucked it up. And like try to make it fucking right. But he's not even trying to do that. You know, it's not really like that. Like cop to the fact that here's a way out of hell. I got a way out of hell for you, Will. Cop to it and point the finger at fucking Whitaker. Point the finger at the guy who was looking for all this shit in the first place. At least that would be an admission. You know what? I would even back the fuck up off of this. In fact, I'm you know what? I'm done with it after this anyways. At least point back to the guy who was actually the one who was there to get what he was looking for. Get that guy. I think the reason he'll never do this is because his doctorate was riding on it at the time. Okay, I get it. If you still want to just sweep it under the carpet, I understand. But fact of the matter is like there's a lot of guys, and they're not even guys, just regular kids right now, kids that are anywhere between like 7 and like 12 or 13 or whatever, who are going to have to go through indoctrination and misogyny retraining, at least in part because of that fucking survey, because of Andrew Tate, because of all this stuff. Is it stupid? Is it ludicrous? Is it like counterproductive? The money's been spent, man. The money's fucking been spent, and at least in part, you have some measure of responsibility for this moral panic, your own self. Own it. If you own it, we're done. I'm good. I'll accept your apology. I will take your apology at that point. So there you go. Okay, I think that's it. Let me get to these real quick. Rollo, I get Amogged. Why is people keep saying using Mog? Getting God-mogged. I got God-mogged. You're going to use that one now. Amogged. Is that a good thing? Depends on who's amogging you, I guess, right? Is it clavicular? Show me on the doll where clavicular amogged you. Is that a good thing? I don't know. Are you really being amogged? I think sometimes I think like, we really call it amogging, but would you like me to tell you a story? I won't tell you the story. I have recently, within the last year or so, I have actually amogged some other dude because I didn't think he was cool enough to be with one of my girls. So, and I didn't do it on purpose. I just kind of caught myself doing it. Casually. Like it came out like unconscious. It came out of my hindbrain. And so you can say, well, you were just jealous. You were mate guarding. You were doing that. Like, I wasn't mate guarding because it wasn't my mate. But like, I will post up on a guy, and not just like I'm gonna fuck him up or anything like that. But I will sort of verbally say, hey, what? And I catch myself doing it too. But I think it's in some cases, some ways, it's almost like a natural response. But we have to find a cute term for it, like amog. So let's see. She sang the song you were singing. Okay, we already covered that. And did you see the reaction video? Should we have a minister of men and boys in the UK? No, I have not seen that, but now I'm curious, and I probably will. And who do you let's just go down the rabbit hole here. Let's say you got it. We're going to have this new position. You're going to be the prime minister or the minister of boys and men for the UK. I guarantee you they're going to get a woman for that job. I guarantee you the first person will be a female in that job. Guaranteed it. Well, we need diversity in our... Why does it have to be a man? It's the Department of Men and Boys. Yeah. But a woman can't... Women can be men. Yeah. No, but here's the thing is, even if they got a guy, like it reminds me of Richard Reeves, right? Richard Reeves is the senior fellow at the Men and Boys or something like that for the United States, isn't it? He's a Brit. I know it was at the behest of the Biden administration before he got ousted. But again, I actually like Richard Reeves. I think he's this close to being red pill. I really do. And people think I'm crazy when I say that, but like he's got sons of his own. His sons are one like SA charge away from him being red pilled. His sons are one divorce away from being red pilled. A lot of stuff. Sometimes I see some of the videos that he does, and most of the time he's like, "Oh, I hate those manosphere guys." But like every now and then, just kind of leans over a little bit into it. Anyways, yeah. No, I haven't seen that, but I will tell you this: is if they did that, there is one in Australia, I believe, for the Department of Men and Boys in Australia. I think there is actually one of those there. Because we've got to keep a check. Only reason why is there not one for women? The other thing about, like, if you look at the UN, there's like UN Women. It's like this organization that's a part of the United Nations that is supposed to be for the advancement of women. Nobody blinks an eye. Like when they're like, where's the Department for Men? Nowhere, because men rule the world. And nobody blinks an eye at that. But I bet you if I insisted that there would be a UN Men, get them out of here. Anyways. All right. Let's get out. What was it? None of you are actually Christian. My advice: don't make fools of yourself commenting. None of you are Christian. Don't make me do it.
She's not a Christian!
Yeah, neither is Nala Ray for that matter either. Oh, God. So long story short, here we go. Summation of the day. Well, if there is going to be a guy who's going to be the minister of men and boys, the state of men and boys, I will guarantee you it's going to be a guy who toes the company line. It's going to be the guy who wants men to real masculinity is doing whatever a woman says. Real masculinity is supporting your wife. It's supporting women in general. It's like the male. He's the sneaky fucker, right? He's the male feminist. That guy will get to be, and you will not hear any. Like, why even make that? Why even make that? You're wasting money because we already got that from pretty much everybody. Every guy that's in the House of Commons, all those dudes there. I mean, maybe there's one exception. I don't think so. But most of the guys, most of the men that are part of the UK Parliament, government, whatever, they're already there. They're already male feminists. Starmer sure as fuck is. If Starmer won't step up for men, you think a minister of the minister of men and boys issues is gonna do this? Is gonna make it any better? Maybe if you put Nigel Farage in that, you could put him there. Who would you have? Like who would you want to be in that position? I guess it would have to be a Brit, right? Who would they be? Could I put Jake Monroe? I guess he's from Ireland, so I guess he can't go. But I don't know. Isn't Ireland part of the game? I vote for Jake Monroe to be the Jake, you should be the minister of men and boys in the UK. That should be your job. Lord knows. There we go. I taught Jake how to shoot. At the gun range. Now I can say it. Now that he's home safe, and the customs aren't going to get him. I actually took him to the gun range when he was here. He'd never shot a gun before in his life. I think he did pretty good. I have video of it. Yeah, it was a fun time. I had a lot of fun with Jake, and I was, I'm still semi-disabled as a result, but I actually enjoyed myself when he was here. Jake is going to join us in Miami in the middle of May, which is when we are going to have we have the semi-annual. We have two big meetups and a few little meetups throughout the year for Reignite, but our Miami meetup, which is one of the big ones, is going to be the week of I'll be there the 12th through the 18th of May. Babes in Toyland, the White Party, which is the premier event for really Babes in Toyland, is going to be in Miami. I know where it's going to be. It's going to be at Strawberry Fields, I think. It's on South Beach. Same place it was last time, which was fantastic. I like the new venue quite a bit. I'm sure it will be Swim Week Miami, so that you should just go for that. Did you know? I have to look it up, but every time I'm there during that week, I'm either there a week before or a week after the XBiz Expo that's there in Miami, and I'm like, damn it! So maybe some of them stuck around. So, anyways, that will be the White Party. You get to meet up with me, get to hang out with us. We do fun shit. We go on this one. We're going to have a deep sea fishing trip. I have 1 day reserved already. I might make it 2 if I get enough. So if you are interested in coming and fighting fish to the death, I mean that literally. We got into mahi mahi. We got into people know it as mahi mahi. It's also called dolphin, not flipper. It's also called dorado, but it's mahi mahi fish. It's fucking great. Got into a lot of that. I got my first sailfish when I was there on the last trip. We got into some tuna. You get king mackerel. We get some, especially that time of year, you get some good fighting fish, and it's a fun fucking time. So I got that going on. That'll be on the 14th. That'll be the Thursday of that week. I expect I'll be on Fresh and Fit at least once, maybe twice. We're going to go on the Danza Project. Mike Sartain and I, all this. We got meetups. If I can get Cappy out there, we'll go do a cigar bar crawl, walk around. And we'll be downtown Brickell. Just meetups, hangouts, fun. I try to make like my meetups are not like go out into the woods and jump in cold water. They're not go take out your anger with a tennis racket on a pillow somewhere. No, it's us hanging out, doing cool shit, and having a fun time. And yes, you will meet women. We'll go to the clubs, especially after the Miami White Party. Often, I think last year they went to 11 after that, which is funny because it's like 11 is kind of like people say it's a strip club. It's not really a strip club. It's kind of like a club that has strippers. That happens to have strippers there too. So it's not like a bunch of creepy guys there. If a man, riddle me this, Batman. If a man is red-pilled red pill is not a verb, and then decides to be voluntary celibate and swears off dating on his accord, is that man considered enlightened? What do you mean by enlightened, my child? It means he's red pill aware. It just means he's not doing anything with it, so not leveraging it. He's red pill and he doesn't do anything. He's decided to remove. No, that guy's called black pill. Because the practice is to not do anything with it. Remember, red pill is the theory. Red pill is the praxeology. It's the science behind it. It's the loose science behind game or whatever you want to call it. But if you're going to talk about pickup art, PUA, you can talk about MGTOW, you can talk about black pill doomers, you can talk about the white pill, the God pill, trad pill, whatever it is. And anything else that comes off of that, those are best practices. They use the red pill database to say, we know all of this shit now, and we believe that we should never touch or talk to another girl again. Well, congratulations. The practice, your best practice, knowing what you know from the praxeology of the red pill, is to just go home and stroke off all the time and don't leave your house, never talk to a girl ever again. You're black pill. That's the practice of the black pill. You've basically taken all the red pill data, you have interpreted it negatively, and it's hopeless, and oh well. No, that's really the black pill. The black pill news. No, that's your practice. You've taken like the red pill agrees with pretty much everything the black pill does. It's just that the red pill just stands apart from that, and the black pill says, this is how we should do it. We should all stay indoors and talk about those dirty whores on Rolo's show on Wednesday at 8 p.m. Pacific, 11 p.m. Eastern time. MGTOW, same thing. Just walk away. Pickup artist, you know what? We're going to take this data and we're going to go out and take it into the clubs and we're going to see if we can find some dirty hoes to suck our dicks. Right? There you go. Best practices. Trad pill. Well, the Lord says this. The red pill's right about this, and this, but all that other shit is, that's degeneracy. So they're taking all this stuff and they're just saying, okay, this is the best practice. That's all the trad pill is. That's all trad cons are. They take parts of the red pill that aligns with their ideology, and they say the rest of it is heresy and degeneracy. You're a coomer. There's a shot. Somebody's gonna make that a fucking app. See, one of my followers, Rolo's devoted son, will make that into that has to be your new fucking avatar. All right, so there you go. Well, the difference between the red pill and the black pill is not frame so much. I mean, frame is part of it, but frame is just part of the best practice. Frame is the summation of your burden of performance and money, as it relates to money, muscles, and game, right? Or health, wealth, and relationships, if you prefer that. Within the red pill awareness of, what all the stuff that I get into, female nature, war brides, alpha widow, hypergamy, all the other stuff that we talk about in the red pill. And by the way, it's still an evolving, praxeology. So we can still have discussion. You always talk about hypergamy. How can you talk about it so much? Because I haven't talked about hypergamy in a long ass time. I should do a show on hypergamy, Kyle. But it's funny. It's like I get into these topics and people say, you talk about that too much. And I leave it alone for 2 years. And then they go, hey, come you never talks about hypergamy? Okay, I do a show and they're like, man, all he ever talks about is hypergamy. Yeah. So anyways, I mean, if you use the black pill, if you use the red pill in a negative, nihilistic, despondent way, that just becomes a black pill. You're just taking the data, you're just taking the stuff from the red pill and going, you know what? It's hopeless for me. I'm a chin cell. My chin looks like this. There you
It's
go.
over.
That's it. I need a voice box. I'm a chin cell. I'm a height cell. Okay, what else? What other cells are there? I'm a height cell. I'm a chin cell. A vol cell. That's a voluntary cell. I'm a God cell. Maybe that's it. I should have named it. Christian husbands are basically God cells.
Yeah.
Yeah. What is mewing?
Mewing is when you hold the top of your tongue to the roof of your mouth.
Mhm.
You're basically holding it to keep like your jaw shape.
Oh, so it's like sucking.
Yeah, it's not, you're not sucking in, right? But you're kind of.
It's Zoolander.
Yeah, it's blue steel.
It's good. It's blue steel. Yes, it's Magnum, which is blue steel.
Oh no, rest player.
Yeah. Oh, God damn it. Hold on a second. There we go. I got it. Let's run over this at some point during the show. Anyways, I sound like Beavis and Butthead. No, I do not sound like Beavis and Butthead. Let's see, where is that? Oh, here we go.
We're never gonna score. We're never gonna score. We're never gonna score.
Maybe I did. Maybe I did sound like Beavis and Butthead.
There you go. It's chewing gum for poor people. That's mewing.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right. Okay, guys. We got to split. We got lots of daylight. We're burning daylight.
I still got a sunset.
Is your brother coming in?
No, not today.
Not today? Okay.
I'm pretty sure they're still doing Moon Gang.
Okay. When is Moon Gang?
It's supposed to be tonight at 7 p.m.
Oh, so they are going to do that, but they're not going to do it here?
Yeah.
They're
doing
okay.
it.
So Moon Gang's coming up I got to give them my plugs to my boys. Moon Gang's coming up at 7 p.m. I guess they're doing it through StreamYard then because they're doing it from their houses.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. It's so much better when they're like I was thinking about sticking around. I got to do a show with your brother because like he's been doing some topics recently that it's like they're crypto related, but like man, I wish I was in there having that conversation with him. And I see the clips. So anyways, follow Miguel Munoz, follow Dollar Cross Crypto, follow Charlie at Cultivate Crypto. Yep. And they also have Crypto Mindset is coming up very soon, right?
Yep,
a registration opens on Friday.
Yep, Friday
the
13th.
And boy, if you're in crypto, you really need it now. So that the Crypto Mindset course is coming up on Friday. I will, of course, be doing a show with these guys to promote that and help these guys out, especially now. And let's see. Access Vegas on Wednesday, 8 p.m. Pacific, 6 p.m. Same special time, 6 p.m. Pacific, 9 p.m. Eastern time. So we're going to do it 2 hours earlier than we usually do it. And then I also have the Reignite. My new show Reignite is going to be on Tuesdays. I'll be with Joe Marone, and we will have a special guest. Also, the way I'm structuring the Reignite show is it's going to be. I'm considering doing a kind of a call-in kind of thing. If you want a super chat, we will take questions. It'll be more like a Q&A kind of thing. We'll have a topic that we're talking about. But if you have specific questions about, and I wanted this to be nuts and bolts. If you have specific questions about game, about mindset, about mental point of origin, about frame, about anything that I mentioned in the book, right? Anything that's on your mind. Ask me about Warhammer 40,000. I don't care. It's going to be a Q&A. That's the time to do it because I will guarantee you that the guys who are already in the program have already talked about this at some point, and they're dying to talk to you right now. Speaking of which, Thursdays, every 4 o'clock Pacific, 7 p.m. Eastern time is my Zoom call with my Reignite group. It's now open, so you don't have to be a Reignite member to be part of that call, but you do have to be a Patreon subscriber at my $200 level. You get 4 calls, you get 4 Zoom sessions. It's every Thursday. I go anywhere between an hour and 2 hours, just depending on like who's there and how it goes. But if you want to get in on that, this is the time to do it, man. Because I usually charge a whole lot more for this, and this is not me trying to build up my Patreon. I just want I want more people to talk in the group. So we got that coming up. If you want to, you're like, I don't know, like the Reignites for me, I can't afford the membership, yada, yada. This is the best way to sort of figure out if you are, and you will be talking with people who are already in the program. And then also, you're going to find out if you're part of that, you also get to have access to special guests like Jim Sexton has been on our Zoom call. Aaron Clary has been on. We're going to have Drew Bay coming up. If I know them or if I've done a podcast with them, odds are they're going to be a part of that Zoom call. If I could get Ryan, I probably would. If you ever wanted to ask him face to face, like, why do they call you Couch? You can do it there. So we're going to be doing, that's going to be the Reignite call. That's on Thursdays. Let's just say 7 p.m. Eastern time. You have to be a member of my Patreon group to do it. You get 4 calls per month for the $200 tier, right? So that's $50 every time you do it. Like, it is nothing compared to what I charge for my one-on-ones. And then again, if you need one-on-one help, I'm always here available for that too. So you can just email me and say, hey, Rolo, I really need to talk to you for an hour. What's it going to cost me? Just email me. I have to send you my policy because I have to be like litigious about the whole thing. And then you send back, I agree to your policy, and then we set up a time, and then I talk to you, and that's how it works out. So if you're, and I'm probably the most affordable guy. I'm the most approachable, most accessible guy in the manosphere, that if you have a problem, I'm the guy that can probably help you out with it. And I'm good with it. And then also, here's the thing, is if you're like 15 years old, if you're 16, you're in high school, you're like, man, I can't afford anything. Just hit me up. Okay. Seriously. Because somebody who's paying full price is going to cover your ass. And I want that to happen. I had I had this one guy who's in my Reignite group, and he's going through this really, really nasty divorce. And this other guy that I had a private call with, he was telling me that he had like formed a really good friendship with him, and he was like sort of like coaching him through it and talking to him. Like I didn't know this was happening until I talked to him, and like that's the kind of initiative like my guys in Reignite have. So they will go and like they form these. So it's a tribe, is what it is. And I didn't even know what was happening. And I'm like, dude, thank you for doing that, because it's like, not only does it take the heat off of me, but it's exactly what I want the guys in the group to be doing, because that's what it was formed for, is for a tribe. We're building a tribe right here. And if you want to meet us and the whole tribe, come to Miami in May. So that said, I'll see you guys later. See you next week. Health-wise, I should be good for next show, and then I'll let you know what's going on afterwards. I think I'm good for the next few Sundays. Access Vegas coming up. A different chime. It's going to be 9 p.m. Eastern time on Wednesday. I'll see you guys later. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.
Would you like to know more?
I need to feel you on top of me. It was my first time, but I was just a kid when we met and went to bed. It was my first time. What do you expect from me? I'm breaking up the rules now in the game. I've got some new tools. Please do the same. Time came by. Over like a matchbox stereo. Time to get my thoughts now, let go. Bound to give me up for night. But maybe we can fuck again, and maybe things be different. Goddamn, baby, one more again. Won't you put it on me one more again? I need to know if maybe we can fuck again, then maybe things be different. Goddamn, baby, one more again.
Gotcha, bitch.
Perfect. Now we're fucking in the bathroom, tearing up every wall while I got your hair. Why you screaming my name?
That's nasty. It is nasty, right? Isn't it nasty? Ugh.
She was swinging in the bedroom, whole time stopping and slubbing with her hair. Like she's calling you Kelly.
Well, I'm a whore.
Ride me up and down like a pony. Turning up my song, getting nasty. Working up and down on your body. Ride me
Guilty, 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 guilty.
Turning up my song on your body. Baby, we'll get down to it all night. But maybe we can fuck again, and maybe things be different. Goddamn, baby, one more again. Won't you put it on me one more again? I need to know if maybe we can fuck again, then maybe things be different. Goddamn, baby, one more again.
If there's any girls there, I want to do them.
Crusading Podcast has been a production of the Rational Mail. All rights reserved. 2026 registered trademark. And don't steal my stuff.
I'm attacking the darkness.
Every time a man's being nice to you, all he's doing is offering tips.
Tell this to be cool.
Ain't nobody got time for that.
God wants you to